Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! Welcome to Front Porch Talking. We will have Rob and guest here shortly working on some technical difficulties. Shout out to the Cornbread Nation. Celebration of Friday, holiday weekend. You made it. If you got to work this weekend, I'm sorry. Maybe you'll get some time off. But for all those who are fortunate, you have finished your work week. You are now into the weekend. You are slapping to it. Starts at 5, right? So you're now in the weekend and you are now hopefully joining the Front Porch Talking live. Get your sweet tea, get your coffee, whatever it is, get on the front porch. That's where the action is. Wave at the neighbors going by, the strangers. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about. We got a couple things we're going to talk about as well. Cook gave me a sad face. Sorry, Cook, you couldn't get in early on the sports program. We got to figure that out. We got another entrant into our show who's having trouble tonight, and Rob's trying to help him in because we got a living legend, hardest working man in Chatsworth. Yes, Daniel is supposed to be in with us tonight, and they're trying to work out those details. Hopefully we'll see them soon, and appreciate others who are now joining. We're on the front porch Friday night, so it's a marathon for us. We go for at least 2 hours. We might go 3. Who knows? Stay with us for as long as you can. Get in the chat. Let us know what's going on. We got a continuation of some things we talked about Wednesday night and even this morning. We want to kind of bring up, kind of talk about maybe some new things going on. We got interviews coming out this weekend. Talk about that. Sports weekend. Excited about that. You know, the dogs are playing. I got my hat on. Rob's got his on. We're ready for the games to begin. Cook, you're going to get to see Bama roll all over. Western Kentucky University, I think it is, they're playing around, I think that's a 4-something game, if I remember right. They're going to roll. So we got baseball tonight. The Braves blew it last night. I've been mad about it. They were winning 2-0 earlier. I don't know the score right now. If you got it, throw it in the chat because I'm kind of busy right now. I'll pull it up on the iPad later, but we're on the front porch and we're happy. And if you haven't joined the Cornbread Nation and the Facebook page, do that. And we got about 61 followers there. That's not our Facebook followers. That's just Cornbread Nation. Do that. And thank you for the additional follows in Rumble and YouTube and X and all those different places that people are joining from. It's a holiday weekend, so people may be out and about. But if you're here, please come in, join with us. Let's talk about whatever we talk about. We let the conversation kind of take us, but we're going to bring back up some things about these haunted bridges and areas, and we got into that. We're going to bring that back up. I'm going to remind Rob of something he told me to remind him of, and I had a paper, and I don't know what I did with it, but I remember one of the things he told me to remind him of. I want to get that back up tonight. I remember last Friday night, Rob was at the beach and was coming in live from there, and we accidentally killed the live on everything but Rumble, and so we had to reset it all and came back in. So we had part 1, part 2. Tonight we're just in. So hopefully nothing happens. There has been a little storming in our area, nothing bad, but it must have knocked out some things because the store up the street closed. Their systems are down. So I think maybe the storm did that. Thank you for those coming in through X right now, Facebook, and get in the chat. Let us know how you're doing. We appreciate you so very much. This is the Southern Fried Podcast. I'm Dave, co-host with Rob, and we've got 2 other people, and want to give a praise update. That's a great way to start the program tonight, and I don't know if he's able to watch tonight. He's probably sleeping because he just came out a little while ago. Chris had some surgery, and hopefully everything went good. Hopefully he's on the mend now. Our brother in arms here, he's been down and out for about 3.5 weeks, really, and really been struggling for about a month. And working hard, but he's been offline, off the grid, as we say, for at least 2.5 weeks. And he had crazy things going on at the hospital today. My understanding, they maybe did a little lockdown there for a while. But he got it done. We got the word. Robert gave us the update on that. I'm so very thankful. You'll pray for Chris. Cook's been on the mend. He's got the sad face, but I think it's just because he couldn't get in earlier. Cook, keep on trying. I'll pop you another link in about this program. You're welcome to come in. And maybe it was just a glitch. I don't know. So I'm going to pop you that in while I'm talking here. And again, we're working to get our guest in tonight, and we're excited we've talked to Daniel about every program, and Rob's trying to walk him through. It's a little difficult sometimes when you come in on the phone, be it iPhone or Android. Once you've done it a few times, and usually it's no problem. Cook has had a problem. Don't know why. Seems to be easier sometimes with computer. I think it's just how different systems, but we're working on it. They can come in here and chat. They can see it, but they can't get on the stage with us. We send them a link and they come up. But we got a long time to work on it, so we'll have fun with that. I said this morning, I don't know how do you celebrate Labor Day other than being off work? I mean, I get it. People are going to grill. They're going to do some family stuff, but some holidays are memorials and sad memorials. Some holidays are very celebratory. I don't know how this one never is a weird one to me. It's Labor Day. It's got to do a lot with labor. I guess unions has got a hand in that as well. Not speaking against them right now. Don't want a war here on the program. But we got a lot of people out of work. Got a lot of people working 3 and 4 jobs, trying to make it. Tough times in our country. We know that. But as a celebration of labor, you get a day off of pay. Or most people do, not everybody. And maybe some people have to work and actually get some extra money there. Some people don't get nothing. But enjoy the weekend. It's going to start cooling off in our area a little bit, starting around that first of the week. So we're happy about that. I think we dropping down a little more tomorrow and a little more on Sunday, and then a little more on Monday. All of next week looks really good here. Low 80s during the day, 60s at night. Oh, it's getting good fall weather. Excited about football headed our way. Dog's going to win. There's Rob, and he's got his Georgia hat on as well. Rob, have we had success in the operation of trying to get our guest in? You're muted, brother. Can't hear you. Can't hear you, brother.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so it appears that Daniel's not going to be able to make it tonight.
Oh, I'm brokenhearted.
Yes, but I think it's something with StreamYard because, Cook was having some issues too.
He was. I think there's a glitch or something going on tonight.
So we're going to have Daniel on here next week. That's the best we can do, and I hate that. I hope he'll get on here in a minute. He said he was. I told him you was on here by yourself, and we needed to hurry up and get in here and get you straightened out.
I don't run it off in the ditch, Hey, Daniel, sorry you couldn't get in, brother.
That's Sugar Britches right there.
You know what? Because he had problems, I'm going to say it, Sugar Britches. So I'm happy that you're here. Yes, I made him happy. Hardest working man in Chatsworth, Georgia. We'll get you back in. Sorry, Cook, because Cook's got the sad face up there. He wasn't in that sports program where I did my picks. Maybe it'll be straight by Sunday, Cook. We're going to come back in and see how I did on those picks. And by the way, don't cheat, but have your picks ready for what you would have picked. It's really pretty easy the first week. Looking at because you got the Mississippi School of the Blind playing Alabama stuff. Well, it's not really that bad, but there are some good teams playing, but not many. But it starts early for us, Rob, 12 o'clock. I know it's the front porch. We can talk about whatever. We can talk about sports for a minute. Dogs, we need to roll over the Clemson Tigers. They don't get to rub the rock. They don't get to run down the hill. They're in Atlanta. You know, so you got to watch out, that Atlanta crowd. Sugar Britches is here. That's right. Yes, keep us all straight. We need to be kept straight. Yes, Tar Man got a good cooling off. I guess she was in that rain. I'm glad to see that for all those factory workers. I hope that's a help tonight. It's been a brutal week, man. I mean, a brutal week. Yeah. There's a guy that just started, or he came back to work, and He was in there, and one of the ladies was leading the class of orientation. We went to the restroom, and nobody knows who this is but me, so it's not like I'm saying anything. He said, "Man, I'm glad you." He said, "I'm glad it's you that came in the bathroom. It was just me and him." And I thought, well, that's an unusual statement, you know. But he was like desperate. He said, "I need to know, Rob. You'll remember this, Rob. This might be some bad memories." Or he said, "I need to know, what do I need to do in this really hot weather to keep from getting really messed up down low, if you know what I mean." And we know what that means, Rob. If
Yeah.
you've worked in a hot environment, everybody knows what that is. I said, brother, some people believe in the old baby powder. I was always a gold bond kind of guy, and I had a particular kind of guy, and it's rescued me because you have it happen once, you'll never want it to happen again. And people
I
that
tell
work
you
in,
what,
go
I tell
ahead,
you what works on it.
what works?
All right, for all of you guys out there, and this is from somebody from the deep, deep, deep South, and we're used to sweating in places where sweat shouldn't ought to be. Uh, and don't laugh, and don't let anybody else know that you're using it. Diaper rash ointment.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, you can,
Yeah,
you can.
and that'll
But
that'll that'll soothe it out, and it get you a little bit of pain relief. Don't let
well,
anybody else know you're using it. But
well, that's after you're kind of already. I think for me, when I used what I used, it just kept it from ever happening. So
okay.
uh, I was headed towards. I would put mine in a little cup. Nobody knew what it was. And one guy stopped me one day. He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to the restroom." He said, "You're carrying your drink in the restroom?" I said, "Yeah." He looks at me like, "You're crazy." And he said, "What are you drinking?" He looked over and he said, "What's that?" I
Tell him
said,
it's
"That."
cocaine.
I think I said, "This is like the latest Kool-Aid. I got to add water to it or something, you know." And he's like, "Ew, what are you talking about?" Then I said, "Look,
You're better
man,
off. You're better off just saying cocaine. Just say it's drugs. It's cocaine.
th-
Don't worry about
yeah,
it.
they believe you, like, you know." So
What are
when
you
I
gonna do?
first,
I'm gonna start it. It's
well,
just easier to say that than
here
admit that you're gonna throw it. And
here's another expert. He knows. He worked there. He knows.
yeah,
Baking soda isn't as good. Dr. Rush stuff was good. So
yeah,
yeah, I remember when I first went to work there. I hadn't been there long, you know, like I mean a day or two. You know, I went in the bathroom and I said, "What's all this baby powder doing all over the floor?" I mean, like there's no kids
nah,
work
you
here.
know.
Now, yeah, you learn pretty quick. I'll tell you what's even worse than that. And it's this old boys that not only did they have that happen, but they decided to go to the lake and they got sunburnt really bad. And you see them walking through the plant, it looks like a robot, and they're you can tell they're in pain. Every step is a new experience in extreme pain. Guys
Yes.
know what we're talking about if you've worked in hot environments. I'm sorry, this is probably
Okay.
not the most
And I'm gonna
exciting
I'm gonna
talk, but
look.
it's true.
It's true, and I'm gonna throw one other thing out there. Desitin, I found always worked the best until this is an actual product. It exists. It's called Boudreaux's butt paste. That works just as good, if not better, than the Desitin. If you
It's,
got a bottle of Boudreaux's butt paste in your back pocket, that's going to be a lot better than walking around with diaper rash ointment. Let me just throw that out there.
dude, is
At
that a
least it
South Georgia
sounds,
thing? I've never even heard of that.
at least it sounds manly. Boudreaux's butt paste. Salute.
How does that sound manly, man? I mean, come on.
It sounds better than diaper rash ointment. It's Boudreaux's butt paste. And it works.
That's like that glue. What's it called? Monkey something.
Gorilla glue.
Gorilla glue. Yeah, gorilla glue. I got monkeys in my mind because we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. But and if anybody joins in from
More.
Bainbridge area, and by the way, we're getting hooked up. We're going to get you in here and get you talk about. We're going to pick that up in a minute. But this is a real thing. I mean, anybody that's worked in factories or very hot environments, you know how bad this can get. I mean, Rob, you can get so bad that you're bleeding. I mean, you'll
Yeah.
be in pain. It'll put you
Oh, yeah.
down. It's nothing to play with.
Nothing.
Now I'm trying to understand this one. He kept old extra clothes on 12 hours. Extra clothes. I always wanted to be, well, that's true too, but I didn't want any extra clothes, but any zinc on. So that stuff's kind of hot, dude. Well, I
Let's
guess
kick
it all
some
is
rash.
now.
Look at you saying, let's kick some rash. Well, look, they have it in smaller containers as well. You can just throw it in your back pocket and go.
I guess. Hey, whatever works, man. I'm not going to criticize a
Boudreaux,
man.
Boudreaux's butt face.
I'm going to tell my son about that. He's had some trouble with it. I, by the way, I got to tell you about baby boy. I felt bad for him, but he cracked
Yeah.
me up so bad. He went to work at manufacturer, and
Oh wait,
working
they
hard,
got
and
it in maximum strength.
for the tough baby boy. so so he goes. He go. He comes in. He's hurting. So he tells his mom, gonna take care of baby boy. So she gets him a couple of different things. I don't know what she's gotten him, but they're all in this. He's talking low. He don't want dad to hear. He's a little embarrassed, I think. About it. Mom's trying to help him out. Good old mom. And so she gets this stuff for him, and it ain't but a few minutes. He comes in there and he said, "Hey, I'm on fire."
What'd she give him?
I don't know, man. But he walked around. He was kicking his legs out, trying to separate things and all that. And said, I'm burning up. How long is this going to last? He said, "What'd you do to me?"
Oh my gosh, she probably told him alcohol would help dry it out.
I'm, t- I'm telling you what, man. And so I got tickled. I felt bad. I said, "I'm sorry, man." I started laughing. And he goes, "It's not funny." I said, "I can't believe it. Mama has taken out baby boy. I cannot believe it." And she goes, "It's good stuff. I asked the pharmacist. It'll take care of it." He said, "Yeah, but that's kind of keep it away." He said, "I'm already got it bad." He said, "You're killing me." So he got through that night. He was hurting for a while. So they had to keep it up. So they come in next day, they're having their little talk again. And he goes, "I don't want that one. I just want that other one." And she said, which one you don't want?" He said, "The one that set me on fire. I don't want it." He said, I burned for 4 hours.
Dave, when I hate to even admit this, but I'm going to because it was stinking funny. They sent me a jarhead that a Marine back there to work with me for me to train on the geo table.
Semper Fi, baby.
Semper Fi. He was big and tough, and he was giving me all kind of crap about being in the Navy. I mean, all kinds of crap about it. About his third day back there, it was the middle of summer. It was hot. He was wearing shorts, but you could tell he was galled pretty good. And he asked me, he said, "What do you do for this?" I said, "I can tell you how to fix that." He said, "How's that?" So when you get home tonight and you're taking a shower, you take some rubbing alcohol and you rub over it and it'll dry it out. I said, "It'll
Oh
burn a little bit
no.
to start with." He came in the next day, man. He was standing tall and straight. And he looked me dead in the eye. He called me some names I hadn't been called in a long time. I said, if you'd have been in the Navy, you'd have been smart enough not to do that. Fixed him right up.
Oh man.
That
I
means
got two. I got two. Yeah, it's mean. I got two quick things. I probably shouldn't share the one, but I can't help myself. But the first one I want to share is a guy we used to work with. I won't mention names. His, he said his back was hurting. He's back pain. So she had bought this stuff, and she said, And she said, just rub it on the areas that it's hurting, and then take a hot shower. So,
No.
well, it gets worse, dude. You've already figured out part of this. So he goes
Oh,
in. He goes in the shower. You know what the shower does? Whatever you've got on washes
uh,
down. Gravity takes over,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he jumps. He jumps out of the shower. He's running around, standing in front of a fan. He is in pain. I mean, intense pain. And he's like, God, what did you give me? They say it's the best stuff. They always say that after they've nailed you. It's the best stuff. So he says, read on that. I need an antidote here. What'd you do? So she gets to reading on it and she goes, oh no. And he's like, what? She said, we were supposed to dilute this in water. They did a straight application, dude, and then went to the shower.
So he was diluting it in water.
It was supposed to be like, I don't know if it was 4 or 8 parts water to one part of this stuff. She did the straight on, man.
Oh Lord. Oh, he was destroyed.
Needless to say, he never lived that one down. But another one, a couple
Wait
of
a
boys,
minute. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. He came in and told that
he came in and told that.
to you, to y'all. I know
He
who he
did.
told it to. This had to be somebody I knew.
You
And
know
somebody
them.
really dumb. Huh?
You know them. You talk
They,
to them.
they weren't very smart. I'll say that.
I don't know if they're listening. That they do follow this program.
Oh,
But I think that's pretty close to what happened. But it was supposed to be so many parts and whatever. But anyway, they told me it was funny. Guy talk. So
yeah.
anyway, but there
This
was
is
a
something you don't feel.
dead men tell no tales. I mean, you feel like you're dying.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's other couple old boys. This goes way back. You would probably have been there at this time, and I know you knew one of them. I don't know about the other one, but I'm sure you would have. Well, there was an old boy who used to drive a lift truck there. He was a little bit crazy. I won't say a name. He ain't worked there in 30 years, but he was a big old country kind of guy, big beard. And I probably shouldn't even tell this story, but I can't help myself. It's Friday night. It's Front Porch Talk.
Yeah,
So the other guy, there's a guy that comes to him. He flags this guy down, and he tells this other guy to tell a guy that's on the line out there that he needs to see him in the bathroom. Well, first of all, the messaging is bad anyway. I mean, some dude says,
that's all right.
No dude wants that. I mean, like, what? I'm not going to. He said, at least go to the door, So he goes to the door. He like opens a little bit. He goes, hey. And the guy goes, hey, I'm glad you're here. Almost said his name, but he said, I'm glad you're here. And he he hands his pants out the door. And the guy says, I don't want your pants. He goes, I need your help, man. He goes, you don't need my help. He said, listen, man, I've split my pants. And you know how it was on those heat sets, Rob? We had sewing machines.
Yeah.
He said, I want you to sew up my pants. He goes, I'm not a seamstress. He goes, come on, man, help a guy out, man. He goes, well, why can't you just wear them split, man? I mean, it's just your underwear. Showing, he said, a bunch of guys out here, stay away. You're sitting on a lift truck. Nobody's going to see it.
I know who this is. And I know who this is, and I know what the issue was.
He wasn't wearing no underwear. Yeah. He wasn't wearing no underwear.
I know who it was.
So when the guy, I figured you would, when the guy sewed him up, he didn't want to touch him anyway, because once he told him he wasn't wearing underwear, he's like, I'm not touching your pants. So he put gloves on. But he sews them up, but it's not a straight sew. It's kind of all over the place,
Yeah.
So the guy's walking around kind of funny all night. He sewed them up a little bit too much, too. There wasn't much room left, so they're really tight. No undergarments. It's a hot summer night, so he not only gets galded, I mean, he's got everything going on. He said, man, you have messed me up. Yeah, you know who it is.
Yeah.
That's like 30 plus years ago, man. I
Oh,
mean,
dude. I remember that story. And I can't call the name, but there was a woman that worked there that made sure to tell me all about it.
oh, I'm
And it was
sure.
the same guy that went to tuck his shirt in one time
I
and
believe you are.
didn't even think about it. Just dropped his pants and went to pull his shirt down, and
Uh,
he wasn't.
I believe
Yeah,
you are correct. I didn't
yeah,
see that, thankfully, but I think I heard that story.
yeah. But she did, and she laughed and laughed and laughed.
Oh man, well, I remember the old white coveralls. Oh man,
Oh,
that I hope it wasn't summertime, man, because wearing them suits was hot. We had to, do cleanings with those things on.
uh,
Well, it was great when you got through those. They weren't that great. You could just rip them things like the Hulk, man. I mean, you just rip them, man. You didn't take them off. You just destroyed them, ripped them up. Like you was Hulk Hogan or something. Man,
so
you know what? Us. Hey, that's why us mill workers and manufacturer workers and all that. We know, man. We got stories because hey, it's you know what? And this is 30 years ago, Rob. It was tough in them plants. It's a lot
it
easier now.
was.
People think they got it hard now. And I'm not saying they don't work hard, they do, but it's nothing like back in those days, man. It
Mm.
was it was a tough environment. A lot of people couldn't make it, man. A lot of
And
people
some
couldn't make
people
it.
were just, and some people were just too tough for it. They couldn't handle some people there because that
Well,
was the beginning of way back then, even 30 years ago. It was beginning to be more politically correct. We were
well,
doing that.
the old school thing kind of, went was the old
South.
guard was changing. The old management style of we've talked about this recently with
Yeah.
some people at work.
Let let the
It
boys
was a
work.
change.
They're working hard. Let them play hard. Leave them alone. They're doing their jobs. You know.
There's a lot of truth in that. If you got your numbers consistently and had
Hmm.
low waste, they didn't bother you.
Yeah.
You
As
you
long
were
as I
all
was turning out the numbers I was turning out, they generally, except for one, left me alone.
you
That's
you were
just what I
almost
wanted.
you were almost untouchable.
Yeah.
It had to be something really bad,
Yeah.
because they're like, hey, this guy gets early. Girls, they get to production all the time, and I
And then some or
I
double
can't
it.
lose them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But I was, when I was turning almost double or more production, um, I knew, I knew I could get away with just about anything. Would I take advantage of that situation?
oh you
You
did.
darn Skippy.
I hear you. I hear you, Tar Man. I hear you. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It brings back a
Never
lot of
would have been.
memories, man. A lot of memories. I know. So anyway, that uh, it's that time of year. We're getting into the cooler parts of the year, but you had to learn how to survive the hot summers. You had to
Yes.
learn how to do that. I mean,
And
it
we could do
it
it.
was brutal. You remember
We
back in
survived
those
it.
days? Back in those days, Rob, there was no air conditioned break rooms. Even the bathrooms weren't air
Yeah.
conditioned.
Yeah.
You you
You
you
didn't stay in
it
the
was like
bathroom long.
no, it was like a sweat box, man. It was like something out of a prison camp. Seriously, I mean, you went there in the middle of summer. You hurried
Yeah.
because you'd dehydrate.
Standing in the bathroom.
Nowadays they got all that stuff. I mean, it's come a long way. But like I said, it was they had 500 people at the door wanting a job. They wasn't worried about you whining.
No. They didn't care.
They tell you if you toughen up,
Yeah.
what's the problem? They'd make
Everybody else
fun
is
of you.
doing it. Why ain't you doing it?
Exactly, and the
Yeah.
people would make fun of you, like, oh, bless his
Oh,
heart.
yeah. Poor
Are
pitiful
you
little thing.
are
Is
you
he sweating?
hot?
Is he sweating? If you sweating, you got to work harder to get that breeze up. If you get enough breeze working up, get moving fast enough, you won't sweat. That breeze will cool you off. Get going. Hurry up. Chop, chop. Let's go. And they'd
I
look at
know,
me and
man.
say bad name.
And how many things were they turned their head like get it done.
Mhm.
unsafe things even. I mean, there was a lot of that went on, you know. People, they just turn their head. They go to the office, take a walk around the building.
Hmm. They they had older gentlemen there that wrapped the rollers on the geo table
Yeah.
because it had to have that. It would get smooth and it would have to be replaced. And you probably remember this older gentleman. He was really tall. Somebody we know really close as Daddy, I believe.
Yeah.
And he was old, elderly, and he came in there one day and he was wrapping the rollers one night, and I had a trainee there. And while he was doing that, I told him, I said, Mr. Buddy, if you'll give me a second, I need to reach up here and I need to change this. They had that static wire that
Yeah.
the fabric ran down, kept from building up static electricity. So if you'll give me just a second, I'll jump up there and check that. He said, all right. He said, well, I'm not going to hit this off switch. I'm putting my hand over so it can't be fired up. I said, okay. And I told that trainee, I said, don't mess with no switches while I'm up here. And he walked around the geo table and went around to the other side where there was another start button. And he tapped it.
Oh man.
Those things turn in this way.
Oh man, not good.
I bailed off back over into the maze there, hit my back on one of them rollers, and the maintenance guy's eyes were about that big around. And I walked over to that guy and I grabbed him by the back of the neck. There was a trailer there backed up to the door. And we walked into that trailer and we had a really good discussion. I mean, a really good discussion.
I bet you did.
And that elderly maintenance guy walked around the corner and looked in the truck while we was having our discussion. And I looked up at him. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm just making sure that he's not dead. If he's not dead, finish your talk and come on back.
There was a lot of that went on. A lot of
Yes.
that.
But that had me hot. That could have hurt. And it did hurt me going into the maze.
What excuse did he use for doing it?
I don't know. He never got a word out. We just had a discussion. This wasn't a talking discussion. He never turned on another machine that I told him to leave off or went by that button again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, that was one of those discussions.
Well, you know, you gotta have some discussions sometimes, especially back
Yeah.
then. You know,
Looking back, I probably should have handled that a lot differently. But at the time, it was just gut reaction. It scared me.
how many when you first came there? How many practical jokes were pulled on you? That it was everybody had them happen. You may not have fell for them, but there were two or three. You mentioned you kind of sort of mentioned Tar Man. That was I think happened just before I got there. But I talked to people that were, in
That
fact,
was just before I got there too.
yeah, and I've talked to the guy that was on the line that night, and he talked about it. It was horrible. They'll never forget that. That was just a horrible thing. But one of the things they would do to a lot of the people in, well, especially in our area, I don't know about all over the plant, they would send. I didn't fall for it. It just sounded like lunacy to me, just using common sense. But they would tell all the new guys, they would send them to the supply room, which was a long ways away. You could easily get lost. They would send you on a journey to go to the supply room and get a core stretcher. I didn't fall for it. I walked around the corner and goofed off for a minute and then came back and said they didn't have it. I didn't fall for it. I wanted them to think that I did, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Another thing they would do was they would put their hand on running fabric and then touch you. You know.
Oh yeah. Zip.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I've heard stories about them wiring wires from the coil to the seat on lift trucks and all kinds of stuff. I never had that happen, but I've
No.
heard stories. People in extrusion, they would go tell them to pull the waste, and they would throw baby powder up into the blower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was.
I bet. I bet Tarman knows about that.
I bet he does too. I tell you, one of the best ones I ever pulled, and you'll like this. Every once in a while, you get that special person, that special one that is just dumb as a box of rocks, and they're, what's the best way to put it? They're annoying. And I just really wanted this guy out of my work area for a day. And I was in the Navy. And so I sent him on a mission. I sent him to get me a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket of red and blue stripe paint. And I wouldn't let him take we had a truck there at the compound. I wouldn't let him take it. And I sent him all the way to the Public Works to get me a bucket of red and blue stripe paint. Public Works was about a mile and a half from where we were at. Well, he goes bebopping down the road. They get down to Public Works, and they ain't got no red and blue stripe paint. But they do have a bucket of green and yellow stripe paint. And he can take that bucket of green and yellow stripe paint and take it over to the NAVFAC, and they'll trade him for a bucket of red and blue. So he's walking down the road with the 5-gallon bucket of green and yellow stripe paint all the way over to the NAVFAC to get a bucket of red and blue stripe paint. Well, guess what? They didn't have any red and blue. But they knew, they gave him a line. They had this guy walking around for hours carrying that 5-gallon bucket of paint.
Oh man.
I didn't know. I didn't know he was that they were doing this to him. But he carried that bucket of green and yellow striped paint around for most of the day.
Oh.
And finally, the skipper went by him for about the 4th time. And he pulled over, and the guy saluted the skipper and everything. He was tired. The skipper said, "Son, what are you doing?" "Well, Petty Officer Blevins." I didn't know he was going to throw that name out there first. Sent me to get a bucket of red and blue striped paint. All they had was green and yellow, and I've been trying to find some place to trade this green and yellow for some red and blue all day long. And the skipper said, "Just come with me." And he put him in the back of his car, and he drove him to the Public Works. He said, "Give me a bucket of red and give me a bucket of blue." And they gave Skipper a bucket of red and a bucket of blue. He said, "Put it in the trunk." He said, told that guy, said, "Just sit there." Drove him back over to me. He said, "Get them 2 buckets of paints out of the back." He said, "You take them in there and you give them to him. That's your red and blue striped paint. You got me?" "Yes, sir." "What do I do with the green and yellow striped paint?" "I'll take care of it." So he brings me the 2 buckets of paint, and I look out there and I see the skipper, and I'm like, and he's doing this number. And I walk back out there. He said, "Let me tell you something, Blevins. That's kind of funny." He said, "The fact that he's been out here all day is not." I said, "I didn't know that they were going to do that, sir." He said, "Well, you should have. And you do know now that what's going to happen the next time you send somebody, because I know you're too dumb not to do it again. But the next time you send somebody out for a bucket of striped paint, this is what's going to happen." I said, "I won't let it happen like that again. I promise you, sir." He said, "Make sure you don't." So, and it stopped right there. But yeah, all day long. They kept him going all day long. But, I was fair. I've sent people after 50 feet of shoreline, 50 feet of water line, skyhook. When I was cutting meat case stretchers, you know.
Rob.
What?
There are damaged people out there all over America that have worked with you.
Probably. But I was
And
not, hey, we worked hard and we played hard, okay? But we did work hard. And the ones that didn't, the non-hackers, out the door. they were that delicate, they didn't want to work with me anyway.
Oh
Put in a
man.
grease rag with powder in them in people's boxes.
Yeah, I was
Ooh.
reading that. Yeah. Well, Rob, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about monkey business in South Georgia. I just want to touch on this just for a few minutes. Down in we joked about this about 3 weeks
I
ago
got
on
I,
this program. On this program,
and I still got to throw this out. You know, he thought I was feeding him a line, and
I did.
I knew he thought it, and I had a ball with it. And well, I could pull it up. You want me to just put it on the screen? Yeah, do that. And when I did it, I saw it in his face. He was like, that butthole got me again.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back to that. Speaking of which, I owe you for this morning.
What's that?
Don't think that's not going to get a payback.
What's that?
Asking me a question and then knocking up the commercial before I could respond.
Hey,
And
hey,
and then,
hey.
and then,
Wait a
and
minute.
then you tried to act like the last time was an accident when we were going off the air. Payback, brother, is on the way.
That was an accident. The other ones weren't. But, you were getting on me pretty hard. I was just like, okay, fine. Yeah. So
So anyway,
let's get back to the monkey business.
the monkey business. So this thing is a real deal down in Bainbridge, Georgia, and
Mhm.
just this week, I have reached out to some folks that's in the resistance movement of this, and there's this thing's in court. There's different things going on, but basically they want to put a facility, and I think they'd already cleared some land.
Yeah.
But there's I'm not an expert on it. I'm going by what they have presented to me, that there was some things that weren't done right in the commission's meeting, and I think they have admitted that from what I read, and they tried to reintroduce. Anyway, they tried to ram this thing in is what it sounds like. And so they, they so anyway, y'all killing me. So anyway, it's supposed to be upwards of 30,000 monkeys in this facility where they will breed the monkeys. They will make more monkeys, and they will send monkeys across the United States into different labs for testing, all kinds of testing. And so, what all the testing? It don't sound good, but I've heard some pretty horrible stuff. But I haven't talked to the people, but this is what they say, and we're going to let them present that because they don't want it, Rob. They don't want it. The people that are speaking, they don't want it. So some of them, it's really close to their home. It's double the population of the city or something like that. There's a lot of waste that's going to be going in the sewers off of this. So you imagine 20, 30,000 monkeys and the waste that would be going in. I know they clean the waste, but come on, it's an issue. So anyway, they've got this thing, Stop the Monkey Business in Bainbridge, and I'm a part of one of their groups now. I've been trying to get, and I've reached out to a spokesperson. We're hoping to have them on next week to kind of dive in and talk about it. But this is a big deal. It's because really it's an odd place for it, other than it is really close to the closest big city would be Tallahassee, I guess, Rob.
Yeah.
From
Well,
there.
comparatively speaking, Bainbridge for this area is a rather large city. I mean, it's 150,000, I think. Right?
Oh, I don't know.
But anyway, like Colquitt's got what, a couple thousand?
I don't know what's in actually the city limits. I don't know what that is. But
Uh,
anyway, irregardless, who wants 30,000 monkeys in
nobody.
a prison, basically, being bred and shipped out for
30,000 what?
testing? And there are groups that are involved that's coming down to help them. So this thing's gotten pretty ugly, pretty ugly down there. So do some research on it. But we're going to try to have those folks on. But Stop the Monkey Business, and we kind of joked about it early on because we just thought, what, they're going to be monkeys running across, taking over the cities, and it's going to make a movie out of it. But my heart does go out to them. I mean,
Yeah.
um,
14,242.
14,000. So that's right, 30,000, double the population of the city part of Bainbridge. 2-to-1 monkey to human. Not that they're going to be running loose, but they don't want it. They don't want it. Now I'm a capitalist at heart, but I don't like the idea of monkey testing and all the things they're going to do to it. And I don't know why it has to be that. I mean, I don't know that they're doing any testing there. I don't know, and I'm not suggesting that, but they're breeding them there to then ship out. From what I understand, and if we're wrong, I'll back up. But all I'm doing, I'm against testing, and but I do want to let them highlight their issue with that. And I've told them that I would be against that. As a Georgian, I wouldn't want that in my state. So there's that going on. But what do y'all say? I mean, are y'all for animal testing? Or we kind of talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but and if so, what kind of animals? I mean, monkey, I don't know, man. That's a higher level of. And some people say animal. I get it, but monkey's higher level, way higher level of intelligence than a mouse.
I'm not saying I agree with this, but some people would say we're descended from monkeys, and it would be nice to do that to people. Now, I don't believe we're descended from monkeys. I believe there's some people that look like they're descended from monkeys, but they're not actually descended from monkeys. They may look like it, but they're not. And that's not nice.
I just think I've never heard of nothing like that. I know there's things out there, labs and stuff and animal. Have you ever heard of a place or anything like it that'll be housing that many? That just seems like a horrible, horrible thing to me, and I don't want to get sued, but to me, just as a person, as a citizen, I just don't think but I want to get more information. So I've reached out to get some more information and see what they have to say about it. But it's hot and heavy down there. I'm telling you, hot and heavy down where Rob's at. And they're coming his way for some meetings too. They're trying to get other communities involved in this.
Well, maybe they're looking to.
I think there was a meeting tonight down there, Rob. I saw on their page. There was a guy standing up talking in front of a group. So I don't know where that was at. I got to get on there and look. But they've told me that this thing, they've just tried to, as their words, not mine, ramrod this thing through. Yeah. And they've put a stop to it for now, but it's ongoing litigation and a battle over it. But
hey, can we take a quick commercial?
We can.
I don't mean to interrupt you and come back for that and finish. Remember where you're at. Just let me do a quick one.
Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, one of the blessed things we've been able to do is partner with the wonderful people at Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. These folks are a no-kill shelter in Donaldsonville, Georgia. You see the contact info on the screen. And these folks would love to have you come adopt a dog or a cat. They have folks that come from all over the United States, not just the state of Georgia. They're great folks. It's been a wonderful partnership between Southern Fried Podcast and ARA. And we've been blessed to meet some of the folks that have adopted animals from ARA. Also, we've been able to encourage people to donate and volunteer. They encourage volunteers that are in the area, and they're just wonderful people. We'd love for you to contact them, meet them too, go on their website, see some of the animals, and we know you'll want to partner with them too by taking a dog or a cat to their forever home. Join with us, the Southern Fried Podcast, in support of this great work of the Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. We know you'll be happy you did. I know we are.
Hello, folks. Just got finished an interview with the Southern Fried Podcast about the upcoming movie called The Keeper. It's in movie theaters nationwide. It'll be streaming in November. It's about a veteran who attempted to hike the Appalachian Trail, successfully ended the trail while fighting his battle with PTSD. It's based on a true story. I hope y'all go see it. It has a wonderful message. It's a very powerful movie. But yeah, please go see it.
And we're back.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that.
That interview will air tomorrow night, 8 p.m. I believe that's set for.
Yes, it is.
It's an hour long. He covers a lot of ground. We'll let it speak for itself. I don't think we have to build it up, folks. If you know what we're dealing with, it's a tremendous story. Watch the movie if you can, and when it starts streaming on Amazon Prime, if you want to wait till the end, November 11th, that's not that far away. But if it's airing where you're at, go see it. Take some
And
people.
if it's not airing where you're at, you can request it. He said they would ship it out to you, to your theater, if they'd requested it. It is. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, I can't watch. I can't wait to watch it again because
Yeah.
I was, honestly, movies. Well, anything, and I'm kind of like this. I can even say it about music. And back in my day, we're older. We bought
Yeah.
albums. We bought albums, and you would get an album. It's not like today; they get one song here, one song there. But we get albums, and it was a big deal. And you go and you listen to the front, and you flip it over and listen to the back. But you albums took you on a journey,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a point to this. Albums took you on a journey, and I would have to listen to an album several times through to really kind of. If I listen to an album, no matter if I really like the group or not, somebody asks me, "Do you like it?" I say, "I don't know yet." I have to hear it several times, and more and more of the depth and the breadth and the I don't know how to describe it. It hits me in waves, and different things will start standing out. And after several times through, I can give you what I like, and if I don't like something, or if I just love it, or wow, this is great. And but it's almost like a filtering system my brain does. So,
Yeah.
and a movie's that way. I can watch a movie and I watched this one, and there's certain things that really jumped out. There
Mm-hmm.
were things that jumped out to Robert. Some of those were the same. Some were different. Some I didn't even bring up because we didn't have time to do all that. But I want to go through again because there's parts where you kind of think I missed something. Like I want to hear the dialogue again and just kind of start getting that dialogue and the music and the environment and what's going on back, more of that messaging in, and I'll just start picking out things. So this is one that I'm going to watch multiple times. And
Let's go on that comments about the albums taking you on a journey.
yeah,
Back then, you had your big title tracks or whatever, but then you had what was called the biscuit part of the album.
yeah,
And these were songs that the artist wanted to perform. They may not perform as well as the other songs on there, but it still was part of the album that was released. And, every song is not going to be for everybody. And we understood that going in. But, it exposed you so much more of what the artists were doing and it got you, and listening instead of just those number ones, but listening to the whole album, you got a better feel for the artist.
yeah. And there would be a lot of discussion among the band A&R and all this stuff, the marketing of what songs should be first, what order they should go in, what songs are on the front side, what songs are on the back side. Because to be on the back side sometimes wasn't the best thing. But and you could only fit. It was less than an hour until later. It was way later they could even put more. Most albums were a little over 30 minutes, pushing it to do 40 something. But the songs were shorter in most cases. But they did take you on a journey. There was a lot of thought put in that. And they do the same thing with movies. I mean, this movie absolutely takes you on a journey, but I think it's multiple journeys. And the more I looked at this, there's multiple things about it. There's a military dynamic. There's the nameplates. There's his journey. There's people that come into the scenes in their journey, and it's so many streams, I would call them. And there's some that I was really trying to stay focused on one stream, and some of these others I really want to explore. And I'll tell you, I've watched some movies over and over and over again, and I always pick out something new that I didn't really notice before. For example, The Godfather. I bet I've seen the original Godfather 100 times or more, but there's always something that stands out to me in that. And as strange as that may sound, maybe I don't pay attention enough, but it does me that way. And so this is a powerful movie, and the whole hiking part, you could just take the hiking part as a standalone. It's a stream in itself. Over 2,000 miles. That's a lot of hiking, dude. That's a lot of hiking. Plotting your where are you going to stop at?
Well, and then making a mistake in that. What was that?
The food part.
Brimmer Castle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When he stayed there.
he made the food. He didn't know how to do the food, and they were kind of coaching him on that. Like, we can help you out, but you should have got this order in, and he didn't know. And all those things are important. And so it's a lot of things going on, even though you could say it's one main thing. It has a lot of tentacles to it. Anyway, I can't wait to see it again on a bigger screen. I watched it on my phone, but I want to see it on a bigger screen. And I just did it that way because that was where I was at the time. That's what I could watch it on. I'm going to watch it on a bigger screen. I'm just going to keep, but I want to support that, and I appreciate the early look. But I would pay to go to movies if I could see it, and I will. I have Amazon Prime, and I will watch it on there and give it some hours so that they see that support in it. So, and I will share that information out with other people because I want them to see it. Anyway, see the interview, not because of us. I'll say it not because of me. See the interview because of George and his story. Eshelman.
Okay, back to the monkey business.
Okay.
I interrupted you in that, and I couldn't help it. So let's continue on where you were in the monkey business.
Well, I don't have a lot left to say, but what I want to say is I have reached out and I've been in communication with a spokesperson for, I don't know if it's the largest group that's resisting it, but I think it is. And they've sent me some timeline stuff that kind of shows that where it started and where we're at right now. There's also, they sent me a video that she was on talking about it from California. And I'm watching that, and there's some other little things there. I've been wanting this hat, and I found these hats, and it said "Stop the Monkey Business" or something like that. And I want to get, I'm going to get me a hat. You can get shirts, hat, and support the cause. I'm a hat guy. I'm a big old boy. Sometimes shirts don't fit me right, but I want the hat, and so I'm gonna get me one. I had to order a couple of things this week, and I was doing some things with ARA. But next week I'm ordering me a hat, brother. You're gonna see that hat come in soon. We're gonna dig into the Stop the Monkey Business that's going on down in Bainbridge, Georgia.
I'm gonna throw this thought out there. I don't know what they're testing on these monkeys. If it's cosmetics, I'm all for it.
From what I've seen, it's
a video of a monkey putting on lipstick, blush, and eyeshadow, eyeliner. I'm gonna have to say I'm going to support this. If it's diseases and other medical stuff, I'm not interested.
Well, I think it's diseases and other medical stuff. But however, if you'd like to be a representative and show putting on makeup of what that might look like,
no,
I would be all in, man. And I think our watchers and followers, I think they would love to see that.
Yeah, Cook, I'm glad you gave me a shout out there. I know you're in here. I'm quite sure that if I decide to do that, Cook will help me.
I got to tell you, Cook's, how do I say this? Cook is he's an amazing individual.
He is.
And I watched Cook one night, and he was a team player one night. He was a real trooper. And it was I think almost all of them was my granddaughters. They might have been one that wasn't. And they were just little old bitty girls. And Cook there's no pictures. Cook let these girls give him the makeover. And he had to sit on the floor. He's a big old boy. I mean, they were having a hard time reaching him in the floor. But those girls, they got all into that. And one of the girls that was there, one of the moms, said, there's not a lot of people that would let them do that. And it really touched them that that he did. And so the question was, would I let them? And I said, no. They my granddaughters. I'm not putting the makeup on and all that. I said, we can do other things. We can wrestle. We can do, I'm not doing the makeup. Are you okay, Robert? Do, do we need to have a rescue here? You go down the wrong way? Or,
It went down the wrong way.
take care of yourself there, brother. We don't need no accidents. We got Chris on the mend and Cook's on the mend. Look, Cook, you're awesome. You really are.
Like orange Gatorade coming out your nose. It smells like Tang.
So anyway,
right, let's move on.
This spokesperson has agreed to come on and is going to give us their version of this and where this is at. We're just got to set up the night. I'm hoping it's this coming week, and fingers crossed that we can do that. And because it started off as a joke for us, but it's a real thing. I want to find out more.
Right.
That's what we do. Some serious stuff on the podcast, Rob. We do, like the veteran suicide. Yeah. This is a serious thing, even though we've had fun with it. We're always going to have our laughter and stuff and cut up and go on. But yeah, I was talking to a lady on X earlier, and she had posted this little joke, funny. She called it funny. I thought about our funnies, and she said, "Here's a funny for you." And it was cute. And I said, "Hey, you got to have that in life." I said, "We do funnies 5 days a week on the podcast, and you have to keep laughter in your life. This is a serious time. There's a lot going on. You can kind of drive yourself a little crazy. You got to have laughter. Doesn't mean you're not paying attention, and you got to have laughter. You got to have some light." She said, "Yeah, I put something in like that every 2 or 3 days. I got to have that in my life." And amen, brother. Amen.
What do you mean it's not me, brother?
You know what he means.
Oh, okay.
Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world.
That's right. Did you give an update on Chris?
I just mentioned I just said that his surgery went fine and he's on the mend. But they had a weird day. I mean, lockdown going on and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah. So, but he did come through his surgery good. For those that wasn't here for that, he's on the mend. Well on his way.
And as you can see, Cook's in here and he's on the mend, even though he's sad face up here at the top of the screen because he can't get in the. They're locked out, man. Wow. They're locked out.
So, Daniel was locked out. How come we're not locked out, but everybody else is locked out?
I don't know. Well, we don't come in through a link, I guess, and we're admins on it. So I got to take just a.
Or I know why.
Keep talking, Rob. I got to check on something.
I know why it lets me in because I'm the clickbait. And you got to have clickbait on these shows. You got to have that good looking guy that makes people stop in their tracks, and they're like, oh, I got to go look at this. That's my job. That and comic relief and picking on Dave and keeping Dave straight, and look, it's not easy being me. Hey, eyes here. It's not easy being me. All right. It's hard going through life being this good looking, having all these long and flowing locks of hair. It's just not easy. So, Tire Man's had to reboot 2 times tonight. Well, that's not a good thing. Don't do it. Well, reboot, definitely come back in here, but it's not good that you're having to reboot. There might be something wrong with their things. I'll send them a message here in a little bit. Cook, you're the only one that comes close that I know of to having these same issues that I have, being this good looking and everything. I wonder at times, do you have some of these same issues that I do? It's hard. Chippendale's called today. I didn't get the job, just for the record. But the only is saying your Wi-Fi is not connected. Well, you're on Wi-Fi right now. How can your Wi-Fi not be connected? Or you're using on your phone? Well, Tarman, I wish they would get this thing fixed here. I don't know what's going on. I'm upset that Daniel couldn't get on here because, you know, Daniel's my buddy, and I've known Daniel for several years. He the hardest working feller in Chatsworth. You're glad you ugly? Well, that just sounds like sour grapes to me. I'm pretty sure that's just sour grapes. Uh, uh, I'm so glad I'm ugly. You don't have to be that way. And see, look at Cook. He says he's pretty on the phone. Oh, phone, yes. Oh, so you're on the phone, not on Wi-Fi. I got you. So is it a Wi-Fi issue? Could that be it? Or an internet issue going on up there? It might very well be. I don't know. But between all of us, I think me and Cook are the two best looking. Dave's a close third to Cook. I know it's not nice to kick a man while he's down, but you know I got my ugly brother-in-law. I love him. Oh, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. Ugly. Uh, uh. When you know they had tied pork chop around his neck to get dog play with him when he was younger. You went to McDonald's and still couldn't get connected. A McDonald's ice cream machine ain't ever going to work again, but their Wi-Fi generally works pretty good. If you can't get connected at McDonald's, you can't get connected anywhere. So there's got to be something going on with StreamYard. We'll have a talk with them. That's not very nice. But yeah. But about the monkey business, you know, here in South Georgia, we're known being able to farm and grow just about anything. That might be why they want to put that monkey farm down here. Just saying. But we don't want no monkey farm. Them little things look like too much like folks. You couldn't trust them for nothing. You know? Yeah, you know, they look too much like people. I don't want no monkeys around here. Them things get loose, you wouldn't be you think you shooting your cousin, be shooting a monkey, it'd be all bad and stuff. Oh, hi there.
Sorry, granddaughter came in with a look on her face of something was very serious, and her mom lives in Decatur, and they had a tornado touch down near them. And they're okay. She did send. She just wanted me to
Okay.
let her know that she's okay. Didn't look like it did any damage to the place they're living, but we did get a tree that's near them that it pushed over. But so anyway, that's what I was dealing with. So there's just some storms that's rolling through. Maybe that's what's causing some of our problems. But
Yeah.
uh, scared the little one a little bit, but because she had my phone, so she thought she sent it to me. She was actually sending it to her, so she saw it before I could filter that. So that
Yeah.
was the look I got. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if some monkey was coming through the front door, or I
Tire
don't
man.
know.
Tire man, that just gave me a mental image of just a swarm of monkeys going over a peanut field.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of problems with these storms and stuff. The store up from us is they just shut the store down, and all these people walk up to the door. My son was telling me, and they don't read the sign, so they're trying to open the door. We're looking in, like what's going,
Yeah.
and it says store closed. Oh yeah,
Well, why would they close the store?
the system's down. System's
Oh,
down. Hang on a second, I'll be right.
oh, we lost Dave again. That's okay. So we got to get this thing here fixed here before long, because you know we could have Cook, Tire Man, Daniel. We could have all y'all on here. You know, I don't like this not being able to have people up on the screen except for me and Dave. You know, mm. Which I love Dave. Dave's my buddy. We've been buddies for a long time. Let's see. And they would work for peanuts too. Ain't that the truth? Uh, uh. Yeah, monkeys will work for peanuts. Well, it would save them from having to buy these several hundred $100,000 peanut pickers and all that kind of stuff, and just put the monkeys to work. But that'd be like slavery. We don't want to do that. We don't want to treat the animals like that. You know, I know that they would work for peanuts, but I didn't say that, Dave. That was Tire Man that said that the monkeys would work for peanuts. You're muted now. You're muted. You're still laughing, but you're muted.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it either.
I didn't. I'm telling you, the system is nuts. I didn't touch one thing.
It's peanuts.
I didn't touch. I told you. Ever since, and we're gonna go to this. We're gonna go to this. You're going to have to get busy here. Ever since we started talking about that haunted bridge down there, weird stuff's been happening, man.
Hey, I've been there.
My mic went out. I had things going on that I didn't even do on the system here. Now we got people can't get in.
We got monkeys on the screen again.
We got monkeys going on. By the way, I was just getting more of it. Apparently they were up. Their car kind of got spun around and stuff too because of the high winds and stuff and the tornadic activity. But thank God everybody's okay. But
yes,
watch out, folks. Some hot storms running through different areas of the South. So
looks like we're all in clear. Down here, we ain't got nothing going on. And it's going to be, hey, everybody down here in South Georgia, y'all be careful this weekend. It's going to be 95, 94 Monday. We're not getting a break till about Wednesday.
Hey, you're muted. You're muted there.
You did that on purpose.
Stuff's going on, Rob.
It's weird stuff. I know. You just let me know that was there. Oh, you just wait. Big boy. What you got to say about that? Come on. What you got to say about that? Now, what'd you call me earlier?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? No, I can't go do that to you. That wouldn't be nice. It was 93 during the storm. That's awfully hot for during the storm. Oh, no. Oh, this is bad. We're in here toying around and trying to figure out other ways to mess with each other. This is bad. We shouldn't ought to do this, Dave. You know this is going to start a war.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm good. Live on the front porch. We don't want to get to the back porch because you might be where you go when you gotta have them special talks.
That's right. I'm gonna go put the clickbait up here front and center so everybody can see it plain and clear. And y'all just enjoy. And yeah.
Clickbait. If you're gonna do that, you gotta take your hat off.
No,
it doesn't have the same effect, Now you look like a Tennessee fan.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna put that thing back around. That was uncalled for. That was not nice. Y'all making me think I need to reboot again. You done had to reboot twice.
Well, it's crazy. There's a lot going on, man. So those pictures you took, man, you didn't put them in here, did you?
Not yet, no.
We're gonna have to get them in there. We're gonna have to look at this area of scary.
Well, I sent them to you.
Well, no, but I was working on other things, and I don't have my phone. The areas of scary for bridge, water, church, and something else.
White's Bridge.
White's Bridge. The lady in white.
Who
goes along in the water.
16 Cook. I'm sorry. Let me put that up on screen.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I didn't see his message. I thought 16. What's
Yeah.
16?
Yeah. They don't think they're going to win by that much, which is fine. He's entitled to his opinion. Be wrong, but he's entitled to it. Oh,
Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's early game, so by the time me and Cook get in on Sunday, we'll be talking about that. Well, hopefully I can get Cook in on Sunday. I got to get him back in. We got to do a wrap up sports show.
well,
I
I
got to
may
get
have to
the other.
start doing that with y'all.
Well,
We'll see
you're
what's going
welcome.
on. We'll see what is going on. We got so much stuff going on right now, and I'm trying to keep up. I'm not ignoring or trying to be rude. I'm trying to get these pictures sent. See if we can get them up on
Well,
screen.
we wanted to look at this haunted area, and
Yeah,
Cook,
suppose.
Do you believe in the
Yeah,
paranormal?
you and Tire Man, do y'all believe in ghosts and other paranormal activities? It's a
Cook,
big.
Cook used to stand out in the fog and wear the Jason mask. I've seen him do that. And if you're
Now
not ready for it, it's kind of scary.
we're gonna do this Sunday, right? Afternoon
What's
for the
that?
draft.
Well, we need to.
All right. Well, if he wants to come over to your house, we'll do it. And we can do this. We can make this a show if you want to, as we draft our fantasy teams. Yeah. In fact, I say we put an offer out there for someone to take that fourth team, just so we can keep it even. If there's somebody out there that wants to manage it, that might be interesting. Just throwing it out there to you, Dave. Did you mute me again? You better not mute me again.
I've not muted you.
Well, you're not responding to
Well,
me.
maybe I was listening. I was listening.
I was
Try
supposed to
not
start.
try not to talk. Try not to talk over over you. What? I had the spirit push my shoulder, and I told her, "Leave me alone."
I don't think that was a spirit. It might have been your puppy dog or your kitty cat. It wasn't no kitty cat though, not if it listened.
Cook. I'm sorry, man. What? I'm gonna get in trouble tonight.
Yes, you are.
What was what was her name? She said I told her.
Pudding Pudding time.
What was her name, Cook? Oh, well, we know there's deceiving. What is this? He says we know there's deceiving spirits, brother. We do believe in the work of demons and all that. There was no one there, but someone kept turning.
Daniel, I love you, sugar britches. I love you, sugar britches. That
Oh
was
my
good.
god!
Oh, that's not right, but that's great.
I want to know, Cook. I'm trying not to laugh, man. I'm not doubting your story. It just cracks me up.
Daniel knows it's funny too.
How did you tell her to leave you alone? Was it like, hey, leave me alone? Don't, or was it like a full on like,
Leave me alone.
come on, Cook. Inquiring minds want to know, man. I told her to leave me
You
alone.
gotta tell us now.
No cats. How did you know it was a girl?
Yeah.
You said her. You said a spirit. Did you see an outline of a girl?
Was she wearing a dress? That could have been some guy identifying it as a woman. You can't just assume stuff like that anymore, Cook.
Oh my goodness, it's getting deep. It's getting deep. Wow. Oh wow.
How do you know she was a lady?
Well, he believes because she died in the house. That was who it was.
Something.
She was telling him to get out of the house. Wow. Was that around here, Cook? Was that? I mean, you've always lived around here. I mean, wow. That just went deep. He don't give you no disclaimer. Just lady died in the house. I'm like, okay, well, that's deep.
Yeah.
We went from cats to lady died in the house.
Yeah.
So what about you, Daniel? You believe in the ghosts and goblins? Ah, there's a lot I could say there, and I'm not. I'm going to leave that alone. Let's see what we got here. I had a.
Her name was Abby. Abby Normal. You don't know. You don't know if you believe in ghosts or not, Daniel. Don't do it, Dave.
He knows. I'm not. Don't even put those on screen. I'm not. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good.
Why
it's
are
not
you
really
good? Huh?
Because somebody has to be on this show. Daniel says it's not real. Well, hey, Daniel. Daniel wasn't in here for that talk, was he? Daniel, let me ask you this. Would those sugar britches go down to a what was classified as a haunted bridge at 2:00 in the morning and sit there on the bridge and wait to see if anything showed up?
Yeah, he would. Could he go down there with me?
He said, "Less at the devil." But I just want to know: would you go down to a bridge, any bridge, 2:00 in the morning, sit there, and listen, see if anything happens? He said, "Yeah."
Yeah, he would. Daniel ain't scared. All right, I had to take puppy dogs off there. It'd be all right though.
It's all right. We
got
always
them on
got
my
puppy
phone.
dogs. So he's fixing to here in a minute put up some pictures of this area. This is daytime pictures, not nighttime. But just imagine it at night. Kind of looks like a creepy place, to be honest. I mean, especially that creek picture. What's the name of the creek? White Creek?
Spring Creek.
Spring Creek. White's Bridge. Why is it White's Bridge and Spring Creek? Makes no sense. But
because the name of the
church
is White's Bridge. No, it's Pilgrim's Rest Church.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you got a picture of that too.
Oh, yeah.
So before you put the pictures up on it, Rob, let me ask Daniel one more thing. So you're willing to go, I guess, alone. And let's say you're there with Rob. When Rob goes, he takes you out there, and you hear something, and you turn around, and you see Robert running away like a girl screaming. Are you gonna still sit there, or are you taking off too? That's all I want to know.
He knows Robert ain't running from nothing because Robert don't run.
Oh, Robert would run just to mess with Daniel. Come on, man. I know you. You would do it just to mess with somebody.
No. Look, I've got 12 seconds of running left in my lifetime. I'm saving that for the ice cream truck. Not to play jokes with. It's serious stuff that I'm saving it for. Okay. Here we go. You ready?
Look at it. Hold up. If Rob run, I run.
Yeah, you better run if you see me running. That ain't gonna be from no ghost. I guarantee you that. But we gonna catch that ice cream truck. Don't you worry. The bad thing is, we don't know who's gonna win that race. If it's a bear, it's a toss-up. Okay. This is the church they were talking about. It's the church on White's Bridge Road. Here we go. This is Pilgrim's Rest. This is from the side across the graveyard.
Oh, we got the graveyard going on.
You got the spooky tree.
Got the spooky tree.
Yeah.
Got some wind whistling through there on a cold, blustery night. Dark.
Yeah,
Is there any light? Is there any lights? Is it dark out there? Is there any lights?
Oh
out
yeah,
there?
there's no lights out there.
Oh yeah, y'all are crazy. No
Oh,
moon.
there's one
It's
little light
cloudy.
back over in the back here. One little street lamp, just enough to make plenty of shadows.
Yeah.
All right, here's the front.
That looks like an old church.
It is. Remember, she talked about that the girl jumped off the bridge onto the rocks.
Yeah.
Guess what? There's the rocks underneath the bridge.
Okay. Well,
I got it.
That's enough rock to mess your head up and all that.
And this is one way up the creek.
How many feet's that down?
About 30, 20, 25, 30 feet.
That's a long way. And look at that. That's creepy.
There's
and we're talking about it at night. We're talking about it at night. Stuff coming out over the creek, and And they're saying some lady in white floating down the water, looking for her husband.
There you go. I mean, I can't. There you go. That's the photo terror of it. So there's one way, the other way, the rocks, the front of the church, and the view of the side of the church over the graveyard.
Oh yeah, y'all ain't hanging out there at night. Y'all can talk big all you want. You're not doing it. You wouldn't hang out there long.
Why wouldn't I?
You're not doing it.
Would you?
No.
Why not?
Too many weird things happen in places like that at night, in the middle of the night.
Well, I wouldn't be a weirdo out there having a romantic anniversary picnic or anything. No, that's not going to happen. But
well, it could be some psycho person that escaped from lockup, running through the woods with a butcher knife. I mean, cut himself and bleeding. I don't know. Yeah, there's all kind of weird stuff you could think about if you're out there like that.
Dude, come on now. Them ghosts bullets may go right through them, but if it's an escaped con out there with a bloody knife chasing, bullets will pass through them too, but they're going to do damage on the way.
Yeah, but not till after they have time to do damage with a knife. They're coming at you, running at you. If they're right up on you, man. This is by the way,
ain't that smart anyway.
I am so glad you brought this up because this is the typical Southern boy mentality right here.
Here we go.
This is great, Rob. I love this.
You bring a knife to a gunfight, you're losing.
No, well, listen.
Okay, you're going to tell me now.
Rob is not your normal. Well, he is your normal Southern guy in a lot of ways, but he has some skills, some. But I'm telling you, this idea, everybody, and hey, I'm a pro weapon kind of guy. I believe in the defense of the Second Amendment, all that stuff. But this is the mentality that people they live in a fantasy world. So here they are, they're strapped up, they got the weapon on. Everybody talks big down here. They all talk about how they're going to put a cap in them and all that stuff.
We don't talk like that.
Well, there's some that do. They gonna light them up. They got something for them. All that stuff. Here it comes. Okay. I can play the other side of this. Okay, here it is. So they're all experts. They could shoot a gnat out of a tree at 200 yards and all that stuff. That's all you hear. Well, there's something called closing speed, brother. And if something has jumped you pretty quick, you're not going to get all of them bullets out. You're going to end up missing. You're probably going to miss some too, just out of being spooked or scared. And I'm telling you that they think that they're just, there's a false sense of security with some people that carry guns. They think that nothing can get to them. Nothing could be further from the truth. Yes, I believe in that. Yes, it'd be good to have that weapon on you. But what if you're facing multiple targets? What if it's more than one thing? Dude, it's not that you're not going to do damage. Maybe you take out one or maybe two. But what if it's a group? I'm telling you, this whole talk, it just kills me. That people in this live in this fantasy world that nothing can happen to them because they're strapped up and it's nothing going to happen.
Are you done?
Well, no, not really, but I can be for a minute. I can take a breath.
Okay, take a breath.
Because I want to hear your response.
Okay. So anyway, let me put this out there. Number one, I'm not taking no pistol or rifle.
I'm sorry, was Rob saying something? I mean, he did that to me earlier, so he deserved that. He deserved that. I will now behave that you did that to me earlier. So you now have the floor. Let's go. I want to hear South Georgia,
Okay.
Ex-military.
Number one.
Not afraid of anything.
I'm not taking a pistol. I don't even own a pistol anymore. I'm not taking a pistol. Okay? I don't even own a rifle anymore. I'm not taking a rifle. Okay? I'm taking my shotgun. All right? And there's going to be one in a barrel. And it's going to be cocked. If somebody comes running at me with a knife or threatening me or trying to whatever, I'm not going to miss. Not with a shotgun. I'm going to let them have it. All right? And I know there is a such thing. There is a such thing as closing speed. You are correct.
Do you know
those? Do you
know those metrics?
Huh?
Do you know how much ground they can cover in a set given amount of time? How much ground they can cover?
I don't know, but if I hit them with a stock, which I'm going to do, I'm going to stop them, and then it's going to whoop the gun back around, and they're not going to like what happens next either.
There is a microsecond. First of all, your brain has to process all this.
Yeah.
That's why when people fall from 6 foot, they don't remember a lot of the fall because they think they're going to spin around and do all this Hollywood stuff and land on their feet like a ninja. And what happens is they land on those rocks like you're seeing right there. Probably that's what's going to happen. You're sitting on the bridge. Something spooks you. You go to jump up, you flip over the back, and you're down on the rocks. I mean, this could happen. I could see it happening. But closing speed, people they underestimate the closing speed. And your nerves, your anxiety, and all this stuff. Do you hesitate? Because that message is going to take a microsecond to get there, and then you have to manually, figure out the gun. What if you got your safety on? Then you got to get that safety off. They're closing the whole time, bro, and they're on drugs, they're on PCP or whatever it is, and they're not worried about nothing. They got no anxiety. They're out for the kill. I would hope you take them out. I'm not saying you wouldn't. What I'm saying is that some people got this. It's a false sense of security. And I'm going to tell you another group, and I'm going to make some people mad. And I believe everybody has one should go take a course and learn how to, clean them, shoot them, and do all this stuff. Here's another one for you. It's a false sense of security for females and more females are buying them now than men. I mean, that's where the market's at. I'm all for it, but they'll say I got something in my purse for them. Okay, that's a whole nother step. You got to get it out of that purse. The closing speed. So if somebody's at 6 foot away when you spotted them, 6 feet away, never getting a shot off. Most people never going to get a shot off. It's over. If you do, you get one. You better make it count.
That's why I got the shotgun.
6 feet. 6 feet, brother. One step, they own you.
Anyway, hard, man.
But again, there's so many variables. What if they come up behind you?
Okay, but there's so many variables the other way.
Sure, absolutely there is.
What if they stumble? What if they trip? What if they forget where they're at and they run in a circle because they're high on PCP and they think they're a chicken? I mean, there's a lot of variables that come into this. Whether it goes, grr, I'm a bear. There's a whole lot of other variables to this you could throw in there too, there, big boy. If he goes up and goes, I'm a PCP, and I'm a bear. Yeah, I'm going to eat you. I'm going to shoot him.
As I live and breathe, I'm going to get Chris when he's better to pull that last little bit off you had. That's going to be That's going to be a real dude. I love it. Thank you for doing that. Chris is going to have a field day with that. Chris, you get better, brother. I'm loving this. I'm loving it. Don't hear me wrong. I want Robert to live, but it is a Southern. This is a Southern thing. A lot of it. I hear it all the time. My good old brothers out there. They mean well. They talk tough, but there's not all of them. There's some really good. There's some guys out there like, hey, I'm gonna tell you what. Them people in that church down in Texas when that intruder came in, that's some people that reacted, but still somebody did die because there is a respawn time, and he got shots off. But there was a guy in the back. He was an expert in guns, and he dropped that guy from across the church. And there was a grandma pulling hers out again out of her purse. She was pulling it out. She would have got the next shot, but he took him out with one shot. Or he took him out. He got him. But he's a trained expert. He's ready for that. He trains for that. He's an expert in it. A lot of people they don't realize what happens in a situation like that. They don't realize that you can hesitate. They don't realize that you freeze a little bit.
But these people coming at you have the same issues usually. They're going to freeze. They're going to lock up. They're going to if it's a psycho, who knows what they're going to do.
If he's coming at you, the psycho's going to be singing the Barney song.
Oh, that's damn sure he's getting shot then. The first time he goes, shoot. You hear that, Cook?
But he's gonna do it in a wicked voice. It's not gonna be the Barney voice. It's gonna be a wicked voice,
I love you.
You're killing me, man. Oh man, this is too fun. I'm telling you, man. It's too much fun.
So you mean to tell me if you are armed, okay? And there's reaction time. Cook, why didn't you say something? You know I love you, brother. I wouldn't actually shoot you. Don't be like that. So what you're saying is, if you're armed, you're not safe. If somebody's within 6 feet of you, some psychopath is within 6 feet of you and you're armed, you're not safe.
Whether you got the weapon, listen, whether you got the weapon or not, there's a level of unsafe there because of what you're facing. Every move you make is critical to you living. I'm not saying I would want to have that. Yes. I just think that there are some people, they have a false sense of security because they do have that on them, and they don't really understand those things. Now, some do, they practice that, and then they're aware of that. Everybody should take a gun safety course, and everybody that's going to be armed like that needs to go through something like that where they learn these things.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't want because you don't want innocent people shot either. You want to be safe. Out there in the woods may not be no innocent. Well, hey, what if your friends with you? What if your wife? So that's a whole nother level. Maybe there's two. One grabs the spouse. See what I mean? There's just too many variables. So it can sit here and we can say, I'd drop them. I'd be like the Walking Dead. I'd take them out. Well, sometimes the zombies win.
Number one, I don't like the Walking Dead. Yeah, I ain't liked it since what's his name died.
I've never watched an episode. I'm just know about it.
I always thought that Larry, Daryl, and Daryl would have been great on there from the Bob Newhart show. But anyway,
absolutely.
So who's safer in that circumstance? The guy with the knife or the guy with the gun?
It would just depend. Maybe neither.
Where it depends. That's your job.
No, it's not mine. A lot of it would depend on what your first move was. Because I really think, depending on other variables, you may only get one, possibly two shots.
Okay. Well, my shotgun.
It's hand to hand.
Yeah, my shotgun just happens to be a single shot. And if they survive the first shot, they have earned the head start they're going to get before I reload and drop a second round into them.
You're not going to have time to reload, bro. Where's this reload coming in?
Let me explain.
You just proved my point.
No, I'm
Reload.
not. It's not going to be, the reload is not going to be necessary.
Sure it is.
You.
Do you
How
think
do you
a shotgun blast is automatically going to stop some lunatic fringe creep that's got a knife and doesn't feel pain and just
You don't
flies right?
think it's not?
Momentum
You don't
could
think
take you.
it's not going to pick him up off of his feet and move him backwards?
It depends on what kind of a shot you got off. Maybe you swung the thing
moving.
too wrong.
If he's 6 feet away from me, he's moving.
I'm
With a
saying
shotgun, he's moving.
maybe your aim is not exactly true, and so the spread
That's
maybe
why
it
he's
doesn't.
got the shotgun.
I'm saying though, you still have to have it centered to have that pattern like that. What if it's not dead center? Like it's not.
And it's only going to take out this much of his chest.
He's still coming at you though. He don't die right away.
Oh, he's going down.
So where's the reload coming in? And the knife's already up. He's coming down with it. Maybe while you're trying to reload, he's sinking the knife. See what I mean? You're proving my point.
I'm not. You're not even making a point. If he's coming down with a knife, he's not going to have an arm. I'm going to remove it with a shotgun because I'm going to see it coming down. I don't have to kill him. All I got to do is maim him good enough. If he's coming down with a knife, I'm shooting him in the arm. If I see some freak coming up like that, you darn right there. It's a good place to hit.
There's a video, and I know you've seen it, and I don't want to get into it because it's the controversy of it and everything. Yeah. And I don't want to, if somebody heard this, but all you got to do is look at that closing speed and what happened there. And a couple different things could have happened there, but the shooting down there on the other side of Georgia, Brunswick, Glenn County, and that was closing speed.
Yeah,
he came at him, right? Mm-hmm. He felt like he had to, whatever. And those guys are in prison for the rest of their life. He came at him, and he got a hold of it. Now he was able to get one or two blast off, but it wasn't right away. But that happens so fast. So that's what I'm saying. The closing speed, you're not going to get this time to reload and all that.
Okay.
If it's good,
there's not going to be no time to reload. You got one.
If it's longer, yes.
But how?
I mean, he might be dragging a foot. I mean, he may be slow.
Yeah, but it's 6 foot away. How piss poor of a shot are you going to be not to hit him?
Well, there's a lot of people that are bad shots, and we're talking about in a scary, life-threatening situation.
And we're also talking about 6 feet.
6 feet. Close. But you're looking at this like he's coming straight on. But what if he's coming to your side? You've got to turn. There's a lot of variables. Okay. This could play out different ways.
Yeah. And he could walk up and just put his head on into your barrel and go, no. You can't hit me. And then what are you going to do?
Could there be a misfire?
Well, then that's what the stock's for. But I mean, literally, like you said, you're playing with a lot of variables here. So here's the thing: if the guy comes up and says, "I'm going to kill you," shoot him.
You still like Pee Wee Herman there, man.
Shoot him. That's easy. You don't let him close.
Man. How did we get in this discussion? We went from haunted things. Good old boys. Traipse. You ever watch the movie Southern Comfort back in the 70s?
No.
National Guard?
No.
Oh, you need to watch that. Down in the bayou. Yeah.
The
watch
what?
That. The bayou. Whatever.
The bayou.
Swamp.
The bayou.
Swamp.
Talk about
water.
Talk about my accent. Did you remember a show called The Swamp Thing from back in the 70s?
I do. I don't remember watching it, but I remember it. I think that was Cook's program. He brought it up the other night. He brought it up in here. He said Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Oh, she was that one.
There was only one good thing about Swamp Thing, and that was Adrian Barbeau.
Yeah.
That's it. Other than that.
Oh no, the storyline was amazing. And the writing on it was phenomenal.
No, it wasn't. And nobody cared. There you go, Cook. Creature from the Black Lagoon, or we could say, what'd you call that creek? Spring
Creek.
Creature from Spring Creek.
Oh no, what was it she was talking about the other night? The Goat Man.
Oh yeah, that was a whole nother
Yeah,
level. We didn't even get
Goat
into that
Man
one real
from
heavy. The
Goat.
Goat Man, that was creepy. That was
Now I
worse than
promise you,
that was worse
if a
than
goat,
Lady in White.
if the Goat Man comes walking up, I'm shooting him.
And we're not talking about the Goat Man that walked around with goats. This was a this was a whole different thing.
It
We
walked on 2 feet
talk about
like a
being
man,
confused.
like a man that had horns like a goat.
Yeah,
Shoot, I'm shooting him. I'm not.
the Goat
It's
Man.
not going to close. I'm shooting him. You're not going to have to worry about me timing this out right either.
And
I'm shooting him.
let us also consider one other thing here, Rob.
Okay.
I don't want to be offensive,
Okay.
but it bears saying in this because all the variables we have to say, and my dog's going crazy. Somebody must be
Bear
here.
say, Mr.
So
Bear.
you've gotten a little older.
You think I'm a little slower?
You're probably a little bit slower.
I know I'm a little fatter.
Well, me too. But that does play into this. You're not the 19-year-old Navy guy anymore. I
You're
mean,
absolutely right. I'm going to be quicker now than I was then. Because then I would be thinking, can I just take him by hand or do I really need the gun? And now I'm not going to bother to think that because I already know the answer to the question. I probably couldn't fight my way out of a wet paper sack now. I'm just going to shoot him. I'm at the age I can do
I
it.
love it. I
I'm at
love
the
it.
age I can do this. You don't
I
go
love
around
it.
scary. Guys that are in their 50s, whether it's their lower 50s or their upper 50s or their early 60s, whichever you are, and you just don't go around scaring these people. You don't do it. Not if you got a brain. Once again, I'm stupid. Come on. You don't go around and scare old people. They'll shoot your butt. And they ain't going to regret it. They're not even going to feel bad about it tomorrow.
What
They're
if
going
they
to be
have?
like, dummy. The
What if
cops are
they
going
have?
to get there.
What
And they're
if they
going to
have
be
the
like,
Fred G. Sanford moment there, and they don't have? I mean, I'm having the big one. I mean, and they
it's
don't need
going to
none
be
of
the
that.
gunshot that sets it off. They'll go cover. Then the cops are going to get there and go, that guy was dumb. This guy's 63 years
By the
old.
way, just to further explore this just for a second, what if it is the Lady in White, and what if a bullet don't even mess with that because we're dealing with that kind of thing? Then
That's
you
when you
could start.
start. No, I can answer this question. That's when chemical warfare begins. If you shoot them and they don't fall, they start breathing in the chemicals that you have applied in the seat of your britches. And that may provide enough deterrent for you to get away.
It all depends, right?
It all depends. And all the depends.
Oh, oh
You didn't
man.
not have an answer for that, did you? Hey, we might be just all country boys, a bunch of good old boys, but we got some brains. Speaking of which,
Oh,
why don't you hit us another commercial, please, sir?
I can
We
do
got
that.
what commercial?
They probably need a commercial from us. I mean, good grief.
Oh no, we're gonna come back on this. All right.
Hey, this is Dave with the Southern Fried Podcast. Please join us each Wednesday evening as we go live for Hump Day News, where we talk about a little bit of everything. We'll laugh a little bit. We'll tell you a little bit of sports news and other news that's going on. Each Wednesday evening at 7 p.m., join us for the SFP Hump Day News live. You're midweek, making your way through another work week. Join us, and we'll try to make you laugh a little bit and keep your day a little brighter. Hey, here at the Southern Fried Podcast, we've got a new morning show. Well, it's actually the same show, but we added a day. We're now on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting at 6 a.m., and we go till about 7, maybe a little after if we're having a really good show, and we just want to keep it going for a few minutes, but it's usually about 6 to 7. We hope you join us. And as our tagline says, nobody really wants to get up, but since you're up, grab a cup of coffee and join us. Hopefully we can get you started on your day talking about a little bit of sports or news, have a little laughter. Everybody needs that in the morning, along with that caffeine. And hey, we're trying to get you awake. You might be trying to get us awake. So join the chat. Let us know what's going on. Sometimes our best programs are from the chats that people tell us some things that are going on, or remind us of some things, or correct us on some things. Hey, all the above. We hope you join us on the Southern Fried Podcast morning show, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Have a great day in Dixie, and God bless. And we're back. You are welcome.
Do we need to explore this closing speed a little more, or are we done with that?
Well, I don't know if we're done with it, but we'll come back to it because I want to. I think I would love to put up something on screen and talk about this. This is one that. Well, I don't have it ready, but I will. We'll pull that up next week. I want to talk about this. Actually, to be fair, the true expert in this crowd is not me or you. It's Chris, and we need Chris in this discussion. So we got to wait till he gets better. We'll pick it back up. By the way, I did want to remind you of something because you told me to.
Yeah.
Because you forgot, you and all your little places and stuff. I wish I could find that paper, but you told me before you went to the beach, which was just a week ago, to remind you to talk about your trip to the zoo in Albany. Now you done forgot what that was. You said, remind me.
Oh, yeah. I remember. There is a zoo in Albany called Yall Park.
Yall Park.
Yeah. Do you remember Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom?
I do.
Marlon Perkins. Remember Jim Fowler was on there. Yeah, when Marlon got too old to go out there. And and Marlon would be in the studio there, and they'd have this thing up behind him, and he'd go, "There, watch Jim as he pulls this infected wisdom tooth out of this lion's mouth. Be careful, Jim." So anyway, Jim Fowler designed this park, and we were talking about, you didn't like zoos because of all the animals in the cages and stuff, but he actually designed this park, and he tried to get the animals a habitat as close to their own as he possibly could. And it's a very well done zoo. It requires a lot of walking as you go through the different habitats and stuff, but it's a very well done zoo. And I think it's one of the most open zoos I've ever been to.
Okay, cool.
And that's why I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to give a shout out to it. During the floods of 94, I think it was, they lost most of their alligators. So just swam right out of there.
Well, sure, yeah.
They tried to get as many out as they could. But they've got bobcat habitats where you walk over the habitat in like a bridge and stuff.
Yeah.
They've got buffalo, elephants, giraffes, bears. I mean, they've got a lot of animals there, but I mean, they really tried to put as much of their natural habitat to them as possible. And I applaud that.
I'm not totally against zoos. I just think that I don't care for certain aspects of zoos.
Well, the answer to that is go on a safari.
Well, I'm not going.
Why not?
I'm not going on safari.
You think that 6 foot rule might apply there?
For some of those things, 6 foot, you better have 150 feet and a heck of a head start.
No,
I don't. I'm not in for that kind of adrenaline rush. I'll watch the documentary.
No,
I'm not into the whole thing.
That's like swimming. I'm a pretty good swimmer.
Yeah,
that's what I got my fins on, and I ain't got to outswim that shark. I just got to outswim you.
And you would, because I'm not a fast swimmer, and I have gotten older.
I wouldn't leave you hanging like that. I would.
Oh, sure.
I would not. That wouldn't be nice. We've known each other way too long for that. I wouldn't leave Cook to him either. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. I'm way too nice for that. I'm telling you.
Maybe.
There again, that chemical deterrent would come into play, I'm sure. And from all three of us, if we had a chemical deterrent that strong, it would probably raise a mushroom cloud out there.
I'm thinking if we were out there and it was me, you, and Cook, Cook could be in trouble because you'd be arguing about closing speed while Cook's getting devoured. Guys, help!
What?
See, Robert, closing speed of the shark was a lot faster than Cook was ready for.
I'd be like, well, if he'd have pulled the trigger when the shark started his way, he had plenty of time. Guys.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what would happen.
Yeah.
Poor Cook.
There's definitely an oil slick out there, though.
Well, there's no doubt. If you were attacked by a shark, which shark would you least like it to be?
Bull shark.
And explain why.
The bull shark's jaws are every bit as strong as the great whites, pretty much, and they're made to remove chunks. No sawing necessary, just bite, and they take chunks. Great whites, when they bite, they have to saw a little bit, and they have to work them teeth some. But more people survive attacks from great whites than they do bull sharks. Now, there's probably the reason for that is there's probably number one, fewer attacks from great whites, and number two, a lot of times when a great white hits something and they realize it's not what they expected, they won't finish the bite. Rodney Fox was one of the most famous great white survivals out there. It kind of illustrates this point. This shark hit him on a surfboard, and you could see all the way down into his leg and his upper body here and shoulders and stuff. If that shark had finished that bite, he would have been gone. His entire chest was encompassed just about. But it realized, hey, whoa, this ain't my normal food. Bull shark don't care. If he can fit it in his mouth, he'll eat it. That's why.
Very well.
Cook.
Very well.
Cook, what about you? Why would you rather get hit by a great white? Or at least want to get hit by a great white?
I'm sure size and what you just said.
No. The things like with Quint on Jaws, that's not going to happen, I don't think, unless he comes up from underneath, which great whites are prone to do. These things where you see great whites, these air Jaws films and stuff like that, what they're doing is behind the boat, they're dragging a mock-up of a seal. And this great white thinks it's a seal. This is one of the meanest things in the world. So he comes up full speed ready to hit a seal. And this thing weighs 100th of what a seal would. So he gets it. He's expecting a seal, and he goes airborne. It's one of the funniest things, but one of the meanest things in the world. Did you imagine what's going through the shark's head?
I don't want to be around no sharks. I know you like swimming with the fishes, but
Oh, I love it. But
I don't want to do with it.
I mean, if I was that great white that just did that and not just got tricked by this, I'd be hunting that boat for the rest of my life. I'd be like hanging out underneath it. Yeah, stick your hand in the water, big boy. I'm going to show you flying through there. I'm just saying, that's one of the meanest and coolest things you could ever do to a shark. Cool to watch, mean to the shark, though. I don't agree with that. But it's
Have you
funny.
ever been bit by a shark?
You know, I came really close. I came really, really close. At the fish store, as a matter of fact. I almost became the first shark attack victim in Rossville. Got hit in the back of the head for it not biting me. And we got in a pair of baby nurse sharks the day before we opened. And I was trying to get them in the tank. And one of them turned around and said, just missed. And I thought, you little snot. Got her in the tank. Male went right in. Female tried to bite me. Imagine that. And I was like, that thing almost bit me. And Neil was there. He's like, what do you mean almost? Think of all the free advertising we could have gotten. Shark attack victim in Rossville, Georgia. They'd had to put it in the newspaper.
Now, who's going to buy that? Because you can't keep it too long, right? Because it's going to grow.
Well, we did sell them to a lady.
Oh, I'm sure, but why?
Here's the thing. Sharks will outgrow their fish tank. They will. But there's several things that lead to this. If you overfeed them, they're going to grow fast, really fast. And I always preach that a hungry fish is a happy fish because it's exploring, it's looking for food. You don't overfeed fish. You don't do it. Those sharks should have been able to be kept in the tank that we sold to them for probably 10 years. And then she could have upgraded the tank. She still had room to upgrade them.
I don't think that analogy works down at the local Golden Corral. A hungry buffet person is a happy person. That's
no, not for people, but
because they hit like a hammerhead. They're trying to get you out of the way to get to that buffet. They're not happy. You're in their way to fried chicken and steak and all that stuff.
I'm quite sure if you
they're like a bunch of sharks.
Yeah, they're circling. They're looking for the smell of blood. They're looking for weakness. When they find weakness, they cut in front of it and take its place.
If the last piece of fried chicken is in there, it's ugly.
Oh, dude! When I was down at the buffet down there in Florida, they were bringing out like this little thing of scallops at a time.
Yeah,
this little bitty thing of scallops. I went there for scallops and shrimp. So I'd get my shrimp and I go up there and the scallops were empty. And I almost did it. I almost stood up in the chair and said, I came here for all you could eat scallops. Bring me some scallops.
Well, Cook, I can tell you, if you were going for the fried chicken, I'm getting out of the way.
You don't like, I know you like shrimp. You don't like scallops and oysters. That's something else I had down there. I had some oysters in the half all day.
I don't know that he would turn down anything. He just got things he likes more than others, I'm sure. But fried chicken is definitely a Southern tradition. Fried chicken.
Let me tell you, all these people around here where I grew up eat oysters wrong. I eat them right. Clam chowder.
I don't eat oysters, so there's no right or wrong way for me. I'm just not eating.
Around here, they put them on a cracker and put some hot sauce on it and pop it down. I ate them Louisiana style. Just put the hot sauce on and tip them out of the shell. I'm slide right on down.
Ugh, it's nasty.
It's not nasty. It's good.
Oh, it's disgusting, man. Come on. Ugh.
Now, what's disgusting about that?
It's just disgusting.
You're talking about clam chowder? Clam chowder is kind of disgusting.
No, I'm talking about the oysters, man. He's talking about the clam chowder. I think it's disgusting.
Have you ever ate a raw oyster?
No, and I'm not going to. That's like a sardine.
How do you know if it's disgusting or not?
I've told you this before, Rob. My rule. There's 2 rules about eating for Dave.
Yeah.
If it looks bad and or smells bad or both, I'm out.
Well, it doesn't smell bad.
But it looks bad.
Well, close your eyes.
No, I'm not doing that. Not doing that.
Why not? Just close your eyes and slurp it down.
I want to no, man, that's sick. I want to see what I'm eating. I'm not doing that.
My sister always down there. She likes oysters too. The husband does not really care for oysters. And
Okay.
and my sister, she's like putting them on a cracker and eating them, and I'm like, he's like, oh.
That's disgusting, man. I can tell you right now, just based on that demonstration that you did, as much as I don't like grits, I would eat grits all day long and twice on Sunday before I'd ever eat oysters. I can tell you that
Or
right
you
now.
can take them up in shandies.
Oh, oh my goodness.
No, they're delicious.
No. Well, for you.
Yeah.
For you, yeah, not for me.
Them and grits. Oh, that'd be the perfect dish for you, oyster and grits.
No way, Jose. Can't do it, man. Can't do it.
Now, shrimp and grits are good.
I'd rather go.
Great.
No, I'd rather go fight the zombies out there we were talking about before I'd eat no oysters, man.
All right.
You give me the choice of killer zombies out in there in South Georgia, running through the spring creek crazies and all that. Give me that before sit me down at some oysters, man. That's more scary. Pig's feet, no way, man. I'm not eating no pig's feet. Come on, man.
Pickled pig feet. Oh,
no
dude.
way, no way. I'm not eating anything that's got foot in the title.
So you wouldn't eat a foot long hot dog?
I usually don't. I don't like anything. By the way, feet are nasty. I'm glad you brought this up too. Feet are nasty. May I walk this dog just for a second?
Okay.
My coworkers know this. I think feet are nasty. I mean, they carry you around. They're in the old shoes. They you're sweating and all that. And honestly, most feet are ugly. They really are. They take a beating. We wear them out with our jobs and all the things we do. And the older you get, the uglier feet get. I mean, they get ugly. And I don't know what it is, but I have been in places where people think it's socially acceptable to take their old nasty feet out of their slip-on shoes or sandals or whatever it is, and prop their old nasty feet up on a wall beside you or something. And that is one of the most disgusting things ever. People I cannot stand. That's why they have no shirt, no shoes, no service. Nobody wants to see that. You don't want a bunch of barbarian feet at your at tables around you as you're trying to eat your dinner, man. Feet are nasty, man. They're nasty. They stink. They're ugly. Unless it's a baby. I'll give you that one. Baby's feet. Okay, but oh man, that's nasty. So I'm not eating nothing called pig feet. I mean, come on.
Well, let me preach here just a second.
Oh, this ought to be good. This ought to be real good.
One, pigs don't wear shoes or socks. They just have their natural feet. And we have never trained them to wear little pig shoes or little pig socks. And they don't have opposable thumbs, so we would pay heck getting them on there. Okay? So, number one, they don't wear shoes and socks. And number two, if the pig is walking around in the restaurant, they're serving their pork way too rare. Okay? It's got to be brought up to 160 degrees. Okay?
You need your sleep. I didn't say nothing about pigs walking around a restaurant.
You said pig's feet. You didn't want to eat pig's feet.
I went back to Cook's comment about pig's feet. I'm talking about people in the restaurant, human beings, not pigs. Pigs are being served, but ham and all that, sausage, whatever. But I ain't been to no restaurant here that's serving up no pig's feet. I wouldn't go to a place like that. I would.
Okay. Let me ask you this: would you eat cow tongue?
No.
Why?
Once again, Dave's rule: if it looks bad, it smells bad, or both, I'm not eating it. And a cow tongue looks
it came out of something's mouth.
No, I just don't like it. I don't care where it came from.
Okay. You like scrambled eggs?
Yeah, but they're in a shell. I know where you're going with that, but they're in a shell.
Well, the tongue, when you serve cow tongue, there is a very thick membrane all the way around it. That has to come off. It's not like it's just flopping around inside the mouth. It's got a membrane on it. It's got to come off.
You're not making me any more accept this by discussing that. I mean, an eggshell, it's nice and, you can wash it off. It looks good. I mean, it's protected. Everything's protected. I don't want no membrane. I mean, come on, man. Membrane. I could just hear the waitress going, "Oh, we've got some cow tongue for you." And by the way, the membrane was just to die for. It was a great membrane we took that we took off of there, and now we've got it
okay.
off.
Do you like ribs?
No, I don't like ribs.
Do you like filet mignon?
No,
Do you like liver?
no,
Do you like skirt steak?
no,
Do you like flank steak?
no.
Okay. I'm trying to think of everything else that might have. Do you like pork tenderloin?
I can eat it. I'm not a huge fan, but I can eat it.
Okay. Pork tenderloin has a membrane. It's taken off.
Cook. What?
Chinese sit on their feet to eat. That's why they're so damn bad, plain skinny. They're sitting on their feet to eat.
Once again, I don't want to be sitting somewhere where people got, naked feet around me eating. I just don't want to see that.
But if they're sitting on them, I mean, you wouldn't really see them, would you?
You might smell them.
But Chinese wear sandals. And why would you smell them?
They take those off to eat.
Yeah. But why would you smell them? They're aired out all day.
Yeah,
I mean,
getting a crud on them, walking around. I mean, come on.
Well, they probably wash them. I mean, it'd be like washing your hands. I mean, really wash their hands and their feet if they're going to be
okay, big boy. Tell me the last restaurant you've been to where some dude or some lady walks up and there was a foot washing facility right there that they wash their feet before they entered the restaurant. Or tell me this, have you been in the restroom and watched somebody come in and put their feet up in the sink and wash their feet? Come on. I'm just waiting for you to answer this question. Come on, man. Come on. I'm waiting.
I've never seen that. No, I've never seen that.
So your argument falls.
I saw some guy accidentally step in the toilet one time. Does that count?
Oh, man. That's like your closing speed, man. Your arguments are falling apart tonight.
Dude, you cannot argue with me on closing speed. That was your argument. I'm just saying that you had to bring closing speed back up.
I'm not letting it go. Closing speed.
You're just throwing things out there, but you're not looking. You're just looking at it from one side. You're not looking at the moron that's trying to go up to an armed individual. Number one, this guy's brain cannot be there anyway. Okay? He's brainless. He's dumb. Because this guy's got a gun. He's 6 feet away from you. He's not going to miss. Okay? You take your closing speed and it's gone. He's not Wile E. Coyote. He's not lighting the little dynamite that's going to shoot him up at you, the little rocket car or rocket skates or whatever he's got that Acme decided to send to him. It's not going to work.
The more you talk, the more you're proving every argument that I had for tonight. Just keep on talking, big boy. Just keep on talking. Every argument that you are putting forth, you're proving my point.
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you the guy's dumb.
You don't think dumb people aren't fast?
No.
They got one mind.
They're already slow mentally. What makes you think they're going to be slow, fast physically?
That has nothing to do with speed.
Sure it does. They can't think fast enough to comprehend the fact that they're fixed to get shot.
Rob.
Oh, Dave.
Oh, man.
I can just see it. You wouldn't survive 2 episodes on the Roadrunner and Coyote show.
You have failed every test of closing speed tonight. You have failed.
I have not. All you got to do is squeeze the trigger. I don't care how fast you are.
Spoken like a true South Georgian. I'm telling you. Sorry, not being offensive to the South Georgians.
Here I come.
It's right.
They got a knife. Number one, if you see them at time to realize they've got a knife in their hands and they're, here I come, I'm going to get you. Boom.
You're not right. Listen, dude, you're going to have to close the show because you're really getting worse as the night goes on.
I'm
First of
not.
all, if you will roll back this discussion, we were talking about being out there at these creepy places at night. You've already said there's no light in this place. You
Well,
don't
you
know
got
what they
headlights
got.
on your car.
Oh, so now you're sitting in the car with the headlights on? Come on, man.
No, I'm just saying you're
You
going to have a flashlight with you. I mean,
so
what
now,
kind of dummy would
this
go out
is
in the dark at
great.
night with a flashlight?
Now you got to handle the shotgun and the flashlight. See, you're just making it worse for yourself.
No. If I got that flashlight, I'm going to see them long before 6 feet.
If you see
Especially on
them,
the bridge. You think about it. You walking across a bridge in the middle of the night and you got your flashlight out. You don't think you're going to see more than 6 feet?
you might not be in the middle of the bridge. You might be at the one end. They might come out of the woods. They might come up behind you. Close.
You've never walked in the woods in South Georgia.
I
You
don't need
don't have
to.
no idea how many briars and brambles it can be coming. You ain't gonna have to worry about them if they come up out of the woods at you.
The
They gonna
crazy
bleed to death before they ever get to you.
the crazy psycho doesn't care about all that. They don't feel pain
Well,
like you.
then I'm not gonna care if he bleeds to death. He gonna bleed to death before he
You,
gets out of the woods.
you have failed. You have failed, country boy. Closing psycho speed is winning this argument. Closing psycho
No.
speed.
All right. How many people we got here? Y'all put this puppy to rest. Who's gonna win in a knife versus gunfight?
By the way, there was a guy that lost that just here a while back. It was in America somewhere where a guy brought the knife. The guy got off a shot. The guy got the knife to him and he killed him.
Did he die from
Killed
the
the guy with the
gunshot?
gun. No, I don't remember if he died. He may have, but he knifed the guy and he killed him.
Well, hey, sometimes you eat the bear, sometimes the bear eats you. But as long as the guy that was come at him with the knife died, my point is still proven.
But you're still dead, bro.
Yeah. So is he. Ty.
Oh,
I'm sorry, that's horrible.
you
But,
hear this, Jen?
it's a tie.
I don't think Jen's watching, but if you hear this, Jen. So my recommendation would be you're right. You're absolutely right. Don't go to the bridge with Rob at night. But if you do, stay in the vehicle with the motor running, with it in drive, foot ready to accelerate very quickly because Rob's going to be psycho meat. He has failed in his defense of self and you. It's over.
No, I don't think she's still up.
No, she's probably would. We lost her this morning.
Comment on that. I think she'd probably be telling you she'd feel perfectly safe with me out there. And that she's probably secretly looking forward to going out there at 2 a.m. tonight.
Yeah, right. She said never.
I guarantee you, if we were going across that bridge at night right now, I couldn't pry her out of that car with a crowbar.
Well, I know my wife wouldn't get out.
And just for the record, you won't. If I decide to go out there and do that, I will not be toting a knife. Just for the record.
You know what's going to happen.
Somebody's going to come out there dressed up in a white dress, try to scare me.
No,
I'm going to shoot them, and I'm going to go to jail. Somebody. When you're going to have your clickbait in jail, and it's going to be ugly.
You and the psycho are both done because the killer monkeys are coming through. They're mad. They're rampaging because they've been locked in this place. They broke free, and you and the psycho team up to try to stop the crazed killer monkeys. And you lose out of sheer numbers. You get your 1 or 2 shots off. You do get a reload. I'll give you that. Psycho gets a couple of stabs with a knife, and then it's over. The killer monkeys take you out. That's what's going to happen here. That's going to be the headline. Killer monkeys. Kill crazy psycho and South Georgia redneck. That's going to be the headline.
Oh, don't you throw them ugly words out there. I ain't no redneck. Don't you do it.
I bet your neck gets red out there mowing that grass.
You don't throw ugly words out there. You don't throw words out there like that lightly. Them some ugly, ugly words. I am not from the panhandle of Florida. That's where all true rednecks come from. I'm from South Georgia. Don't go there.
So you're saying there's not any rednecks in South Georgia?
If they did, they transplanted themselves from the panhandle of Florida.
Bro, they everywhere, man.
They transplanted from the panhandle of Florida. Every one of them.
Oh boy. We
That's
have
where all
killed,
the real rednecks come from.
so says Rob from South Georgia.
Yeah, I can name you some real famous rednecks that came from there. Tom Petty was one of them.
He wasn't a redneck from there.
He
spent time there, but he's not from there. He's a Cali guy. Come on, man.
Hey, he spent too much time there not to be considered a redneck. Where'd Leonard Skinner come from?
Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them. One of them didn't. One of them was a Cali guy.
Yeah. Tom Petty was born in Gainesville, Florida.
But he spent all that time in Cali. He's he Cali kind of guy, I'm telling you.
Well, he moved to Cali, but he grew up in Florida.
He never acted one time redneck. I don't know where you're getting this. I don't care where he's from. He didn't act like that.
Well, just because he didn't act redneck. Now, wait a minute. Sitting there playing the guitar, watching the world go by. You mean tell me that's not a little bit rednecky?
No.
That's not rednecky.
No.
Okay. You're failing this.
I fail to see your point. A guy sitting there playing guitar, watching the world go by, a line from a song. What makes that rednecky? I don't get your point.
It was rock and roll. If it had been country music, it would have been normal. But he was a rock singer. So it's not normal, it's rednecky. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. If it had been country music, it'd have guaranteed it'd been normal. But he wasn't normal. He was redneck. He was doing it his way, as rednecks are. Look, he's from the Gainesville residential district, known locally as Duck Pond. Redneck. That right there. He's from Duck Pond. Come on, dude. He's redneck. Gotta be. He was a nice redneck. He was a talented redneck. He sang in a group called the Traveling Wilburys. Come on, redneck. Roy Orbison. Who all else was in that group? Come on, dude.
I'm just going to let you sink here. I'm going to let you keep talking.
Not sinking.
Those comments were not worthy of response.
Oh, my goodness.
I love you, bro, but that doesn't work.
Okay. What were Tom Petty's final words to his fans?
I don't know.
His final concert and tour, he wound it up by saying, "We love you dearly. I want to thank you for 40 years of a really great time. We're almost out of time."
Well, it just so happened that happened to be the last words, but it could be a lot of last words.
Yeah.
I mean, if God forbid one of us tonight was our last words, what they're going to remember of you is your whole trying to recreate the psycho craze guy with your hands up there talking crazy. See, that's going to be your last words.
No, my last words are going to be, "Hey, y'all, watch this." Either that or hold my beer, but I don't drink anymore, so I won't be using that one. So it's going to have to be, "Hey, y'all, watch this." Or "I think I can," something. I don't know what it's going to be yet. It's either going to be, hey, y'all watch this, or I believe I can do something. And I believe your last words are going to be, Lynn, did you just use that tone of voice with me? That's going to be your last words.
No. My
No?
last words are going to be, Robert, I told you about the closing speed. You wouldn't listen to me. Now you've got us both in trouble. That's going to be it.
No. If it comes down to that, dude, at our age, dude, let me tell you how that's going to go down. Y'all wait a second. We fixed to whoop your butt. You wait till we get stretched out good. We're coming in just a minute. That's how this is going to go down.
Oh, I know.
We're not going to survive it.
And the psycho crazy guy don't need to stretch out because he don't feel no pain anyway. He's just crazy.
Right. And we're not going to survive it.
Yeah, we're not.
So
we would add to the legend of the creek and the bridge and the church and the cemetery and everything else. That would just be another layer of crazy down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad we got that
settled. Two old guys were stretching when the lady in white knifed them down. They still wear their Georgia hats when you see them.
Floating through the water.
Yeah. When you see them floating through the water with their Georgia hats on, you know it's them.
I bet she's a Florida fan. I bet she was. She might be wearing a Florida hat.
No, dude. She was an FSU fan. She got ghosted just like they did last year.
Well, they've already lost this year.
Oh, every FSU fan just crinkled up. Oh, every one of them just crinkled up at me right there. I could feel a disturbance in the force. She got ghosted like they did for their national title. That's bad. Ooh.
Lord.
Oh. Don't know if I'm at the Braves game or watching FSU. All right. Well, I think we've done about all the damage we can do to people tonight.
We have. We've put them comatose. We've covered a lot of ground. Folks, don't forget to watch the interview tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
Absolutely. The
Keeper, the George. I just went blank on his last name. Eshelman, not Eshelman. Come on, man. Powerful story. He's going to be talking about the movie. Go watch The Keeper, but listen to this interview, and you'll hear some backstory things you won't see. You won't know if you just watch the movie. And so we had him for an hour. It'll be released on all of our streams at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. So be looking for that. And we're going to do some stuff starting Monday about veteran suicides and everything. And we're going to talk. He's made an offer. We'll get on it. We'll make a promo for it. I was hoping to already have it done. We'll get that done tomorrow, maybe Sunday for sure. And other things coming. We're going to explore the monkey business going on down in Bainbridge. Yes. We're going to look at a wonderful ministry, hopefully, in the next week or so that's making a difference in people's lives for Jesus mainly, but in other ways too. And lots of things going on here at the old podcast. Go to Facebook and join the Cornbread Nation. Become a breadhead.
Yes.
Thank you for being here tonight and hanging with us on the front porch.
Yeah, follow, subscribe, and
by the way, we got a Monday. We need to. Our store is up. I've ordered a hat from our own store, and I can't wait. That'll be in first of the week. But our links are. I know they're in Facebook and X and a couple others. I don't know that it's in YouTube yet. I got to get Chris to help me with that. But you can find it on the Facebook page under links there on the main, right at the beginning of the page. But go to the store, look around, see if you can find something. It'll help support the cause. So just keeps us going.
Absolutely. And remember we do our that's a good one, Cook. Yeah, God bless you and get well soon, Chris. Don't forget our morning funnies. They come on the same time as we do on the morning show. They come out at 6:00. Crack a smile. It's not going to hurt you. I know it's hard. It's rough in the mornings, but come on, let us help you crack a smile. It'll make your whole day better.
And
Morning, Joe.
tomorrow is pet of the day and veteran of the week. And
They didn't send me no
Veterans
kitty.
Rose. Uh-oh. Maybe
Uh
we won't have.
oh.
Maybe we won't have cat
Let me
of the
see.
day.
Let me see. Let me see. Oh, I forgot about the kitty cats. No, I didn't get no kitty cats from them this week.
Well,
They
you
didn't
know
send
what?
me. Yes.
Just do
What?
Fern because Fern needs support.
I'll do Fern. I'll do Fern.
Fern was the
You
very
sent me a
first
whole
dog
bunch.
that we covered. Fern has
In
been
all,
there for 2 years, but Fern needs a home.
in all fairness, they have been sending me a whole bunch of kitty cats,
They
kittens,
have.
and I've been putting a whole bunch of them up, and I've split them up into two groups, and some of them have been adopted already. Some of them
Yes.
have not. But we're going to do Fern again tomorrow. So,
Give
and
Fern a forever home.
yes. All right. Well, I got a job to do then. We're going to make a video. We love you. God bless you. We appreciate all the support we get from you guys. We hope you enjoy our show. Uh, we will see y'all live Monday morning, if not sooner. No, Dave, you'll see them Sunday morning.
I will. Sunday morning in the Word, 8:30 a.m.
All right. And I got to get down here and I got to hit this song. Because if I don't, I'll get in trouble. You need to be coming in here. Where's the song? Where's the song? Where's the song?
Y'all have a great night.
Y'all do the same. Good night, y'all.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.